your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I won't
blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wah 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy, for your boy, for your boy. Also for your boy, mix it for your boy. Drop it for your wah 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 lift it up.
Of where he was at the industry, and that's not to diminish, obviously, his influence and his vast wealth, but we're just seeing some of his family members walking out of court now, his sons, other family members now trickling out. You see his other relatives coming out here. We'll wait to see if his lawyers speak. But Jem, I just wonder if this had been happening in the late 90s, it would be a different story.
Yes, it probably would. There was the change of the culture in society. The culture and society have changed, and hip hop has become much more accepted. I'm not going to say this kind of behavior has become much more accepted, because without R. Kelly, there wouldn't have been this kind of trial or trying to get him on racketeering charges and all that. But I mean, you just saw the way that his family looks. They're not concerned.
Well, certainly he was facing life behind bars. And as his defense attorney said, he would be a fool to do anything that would put his custody in jeopardy now, as he hopes to stay out of prison. And we should find out later today whether, in fact, the judge is going to release him, given that he has been acquitted of some of the most serious charges. You know, Jem, just briefly again, while I have you, I also wonder if, you know, some of it also in terms of what the larger culture makes of a situation like this. When you see those not guilty verdicts on the racketeering and on the sex trafficking, whether it plays into sort of, you know, larger discussions of people feeling like Black men in America have been wrongly persecuted and prosecuted for things that others would not be charged for.
My bad, girl. Muted down to the ground. Good morning. Happy hump day. What a day to be humping, right? Diddy was found not guilty on the RICO charges, you guys. Y'all heard? Diddy has been found not guilty on the RICO charges, and y'all already know where I'm about to go with it, right? We already know what it is. Buckle up like the video, child.
I told y'all niggas. Y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all niggas.
See, first of all, this is not necessarily a win, because Diddy is not a great person. However, it's a win and still another loss for us as a people. And we're gonna get into it. I need y'all to get in here and get the likes up on the video. Medusa said Tisa Tails got security. Why she need security? Why she need security? What's going on at the courthouse where she would need security? That's crazy work. I didn't know they was cutting up like that down to the courthouse, huh? Diddy was found not guilty, y'all. Let's listen in a little bit to all the commotion down to the courthouse.
There's going to be a lot of looking at the federal guidelines as far as what this sentence would be appropriate. And the judge is really limited in those sentencing guidelines. There's discretion up to that 10 years, but they're going to use those guidelines in order to really pin down what would be appropriate under the circumstances. And just looking at the scene outside of court, Laura, this is what it's been like every day, but it seems to be even more so now. Obviously, a lot of interest in this case, but that sentencing hearing, that is going to be something that truly we will hear on both sides, mitigating and aggravating factors, mitigating from the defense, aggravating from the prosecution. And it's a question mark about what actually the prosecutors are going to be able to talk about given the acquittal on some of these other charges.
But they're also going to take into account, the judge is going to take into account his behavior while behind bars for the past couple months.
behavior while behind bars, behavior to the extent that there's going to be a period of time in between, whether or not he follows all of the conditions that are attached. All of that is going to be taken into consideration.
So just to recap here, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been found not guilty on 3 of the most serious charges he was facing in this trial, but he has been found guilty on 2 counts related to transportation to engage in prostitution. Court is now adjourned until 1 p.m. Eastern, when the judge will consider the defense request to release Combs today. That concludes this NBC News special report. We're going to have much more ahead on our streaming network, NBC News Now, and online at NBCnews.com. I'm Laura Jarrett.
Oh, wow. Did y'all hear that? So Diddy's lawyers are trying to get him released today. They want him outside at home with his churn today. Diddy's lawyers want him home tonight. Okay? And I want to speak to you guys about how I feel about this situation, and especially about the charges. Shout out to everybody in the building. You guys get the likes up on the building so the people can know we around here Joce, okay? I might drop the link and let y'all come up and say what y'all got to see, okay? But y'all get the likes up on the video. Let me say this. As it pertains to the charges, that's what I care about. First of all, it's a good thing that he wasn't found guilty on those serious charges, not because he shouldn't go to jail, because he definitely should go to jail, but because the way that the state set up this case, it was all over the place. This case shouldn't even got to court, if you ask me. I was actually shocked and muttered by how poorly this case was handled, and it's supposed to be a federal case. I don't quite understand that. I truly don't understand that. But the reason that I'm paying more attention to this case, y'all, is not just because it's a Diddy case. It's because I understand that this case is going to directly affect us on the regular, regular level, okay? And 2 of those charges, you see those trafficking charges that he was found guilty on? That's going to bleed over into society. So I want you guys to know, for everybody that's either happy that he's out or happy that he got in or a little bit time and he was charged for something, either way, we are going to receive the blowback from this case. Remember, we talked about all of the trafficking, all of the, oh, hey, if I invite you out, or me and you go out of town and we together and we have sex, and then we break up later, you can go back and say, I trafficked you. Remember all of that? I think that's going to be an issue for society. Okay? I think that's going to be an issue for society, for the regular people, the everyday average person. This is going to be an issue for. Now, Diddy probably won't see a long time behind bars, okay? But either way, this is going to be a problem for us regular everyday people. And let me let you know, they're going to slide this in on us. They're not just going to jump off out the window Monday and start popping people off for trafficking. It's going to be onesie Tuesday until every time you turn around, somebody on another trafficking charge. Okay? So I just want you guys to know that. But how do I feel about the verdict? As far as how I feel about the verdict, I knew that he shouldn't have gone to jail for the RICO. I think that if he would have gotten convicted for this RICO, we would have set ourselves up for a lot of crap moving forward. Now, a lot of people might feel like, but he's a monster, he deserves to go to jail. And I would have to say, I agree. I just think that when we're dealing with the court of law, we got to do it the right way. That's it. If they really wanted Diddy to pay for his crimes, they could have brought him in on all those multiple alleged unalivings and attempted unalivings and things of that nature. I promise you them folks would have got him up on one of them. But I don't think they want him like that. I think if they wanted him, at least at this moment, they would have got him. Come on now. This is the system. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they say they coming back till 1:00. Hold on, what this person said, the judge gave the because we're gonna go find somebody else to watch. She said the judge gave the prosecution until 1 p.m. to find a precedent case to deny him bail on the Mann Act. So we'll see what happens at 1 p.m. Okay, and let me say this too about this Mann Act thing. The fact that we are still, even though, remember, this whole case is predicated on how we feel. This entire case has been predicated on how the public feels. And I want everybody at the sound of my voice to know that our feelings have gotten us up for years. Okay? Let's start here first. This is all based on feelings. And at the end of the day, the powers that be don't care about no nigga getting caught up on no man act trafficking, no clear woman cross no state lines. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be completely honest. As a black woman, I could give 2 F's. I could try to find an F to give if a nigga got pulled over by the feds and went did fed time because he want to traffic clear women cross no state lines. I don't care about that. However, when it comes to the idea that a black man can't traffic his woman, his wife, no matter what color she is, even if it's us, I ain't gonna lie. That's a problem for me because what if, you know what I'm saying? What if it's just me and my husband or you and your man or something like that? And that's what I'm afraid of for us as a whole. But because we feel, it's a lot of people with this feeling. That's why they use the emotions that they used in this case. That's why they played that video of Cassie getting beat up in that hallway like that, to keep you right there in your feelings so that you won't think straight. You won't think rationally because you'll live in your feelings. Okay? You'll live in your feelings. That's what this is all about. That's why they showed you that tape first, and then they put her on the stand first. And then they let all this other stuff go by afterwards because they know once they show you the tape and let her get on that stand and cry and say she was a victim, y'all are going to remain and reside in your feelings, and they have you from there. That's what this is all about. But when you, like I said, when you're in your feelings, you can't think. But ultimately, when it comes down to us being manipulated and controlled by the way we feel, we're going to have to do a better job than that. We definitely going to have to do a better job than that. And as far as this man act stuff, it's messed up, bro. Because they're going to start putting the man act on everybody. They're going to start putting the man act on everybody. Tisa getting dragged? Girl, they dragging Tisa? Now, I ain't gonna lie. If I can be honest, can I be honest with y'all? I ain't gonna lie. I don't watch Tisa. I try to. I don't. But whenever I did peek in on Tisa, it seemed, first of all, I think that Tisa, before I try to criticize anything or whatever, I want to give Tisa her props. As far as like a reporter and her style of reporting, Tisa is that girl. Like, Tisa could go work for CNN, a major company. She need a makeover a little bit, but she can go work over there. Like the way she talk, her mannerism. You guys, I'm out here at the Diddy trial. And at the Diddy trial, I see that these guys, hi, how are you? I see there are a lot of people in Diddy. You guys, Diddy is going to go under the jail, guys. I saw Diddy. I winked at him. He winked back. I knew, you know what I mean? So she got it. That part, she got that part. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to Tisa, she got that part. She got that part. And I think she'll do amazing things if that's what she wants to do. But Tisa be lying like a dog. I ain't gonna lie, Tisa be lying. Tisa be lying down to the ground. And I hate to get on here. And try to say negative things about Tisa because I ain't got no beef with that lady. But Tisa be lying. Listen to me. And listen, I gotta say that part. I'm sorry I had to say it out loud. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. Y'all be thinking it, but I'ma say it. Tisa be lying down, girl. Tisa be lying down to the ground. Do you hear me? Tisa love telling a lie. But shout out to Tisa Tell. This ain't no shade. You know what I mean? Right, Simeon. If she had a producer in the script, hey, quiet as it's kept. If Tisa had a producer in a script, 95% of y'all wouldn't even know she be lying. And I promise you that, because she's a great actress. If Tisa had a producer in the script, 95% of y'all wouldn't even be able to tell she lying. And that's a fact. Because I see it every day with these celebrities, and y'all don't be knowing. The only thing is Tisha's unpolished. The moment somebody snatch Tisha up like, bitch, give me that, and polish Tisha up, Tisha gonna be something else. Tisha gonna be something to play with. She gonna be something to reckon with. I ain't gonna hold you. She lying her ass off though. She lying down. But when it come down to it, I gotta get a girl her flowers. When it come down to it, she do a big one. Now I ain't gonna lie. They say that people mad with Tisa because Tisa was saying this, that, and the third. I have been hearing so much about what people were saying about Tisa. And I ain't gonna lie, I think some people are hating on Tisa. But ultimately, I do think Tisa, well, I peeked in. Tisa still was lying. I ain't gonna lie. I peeked in yesterday. I peeked in the live yesterday. I swear to God. I was in Tisa live for like 3 minutes. And I was like, yeah, there you go. Let me get up out of here. I ain't gonna lie. I swear, God can strike me down. Yesterday, I just popped in. Because, I just go to the live button and see who all live, right? So I saw Tisa and I scrolled. I was like, I'm not playing with no Tisa. But some say, just go ahead, girl. Get a girl a chance. Go ahead and see what she's talking about. Girl, I logged in. Girl, Tisa with the talking. I don't know what Tisa said, but whatever it was, I said, oh yeah, there you go. Hurry up, got up out of there. But shout out to Tisa Tell. This ain't no hate. That girl got a way bigger platform than me. To shout out to Tisa Tell. It worked. She got hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm over here telling the truth and I ain't got 50. So, hello? She over there lying like a dog, allegedly, and got hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm over here telling y'all the truth and I got 50. I'll take it. I will take it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll take it. That's how I normally go though. That's what's expected. Y'all get the likes up on the video. Miss Kelly J, thank you for the super chat. So glad that I've caught a live. I feel bad because I haven't been engaged as I used to. I'm a new mom. Congratulations. And my daughter is now 7 months. Yeah, you told us when you had the baby. How my niece? Trust and believe I've been supporting you in the bushes. Love you. Girl, we love you too. I remember you told us you had our niece. Tell our niece we say, hey, how the baby doing? And I hope you enjoy motherhood. Mm-hmm. Mio, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Says, I'm at work like hush, hush. Y'all, boo is on. For real. Tell them, hush, baby. The show is on. We about to get into it. Pure joy. Thank you for the super chat. Would it have been the Mann Act if he was trafficking black women? I've never seen it happen with black women. And y'all know what the Mann Act is, right? For the people in the audience, for some who may or may not know. If you don't know what the Mann Act was, the boxer, I forget his name, but it was in the 1900s, the early 1900s. This big old black boxer had a thing for clear women. And he was whipping crackers' ass and carrying their clear women, their lily white women cross state lines. I'm gonna give you the layman version of the story. So this big old black ass nigga was running around here knocking out white boys in the 20s or the 1900s. Jack Johnson, thank you, M. Thank you. Jack Johnson was knocking out these crackers and taking their white girls. And they got mad and jealous that he was going all across, flaunting them all across, all over. And they came up with this thing called the Mann Act. Now, the way the Mann Act worked is if you take a woman across state lines for the purposes of sex or prostitution, then that is a federal crime. That ever since has been still held on and is now held on today. And that's what they were trying to get Diddy under the Mann Act. As a matter of fact, from what I'm hearing, I can't verify, but from what I'm hearing, the people are saying that they've given the prosecution time to figure out why the judge shouldn't allow Diddy to go free today. And they are using that very same Mann Act. Now, let's really be clear. None of the women in the Diddy trial were black. I mean, Dawn was, but Dawn wasn't a victim per se. But none of the quote unquote victims that suffered all the Stockholm syndrome and all that stuff y'all was talking about, none of them were black. So I don't know. Cassie is not black. Capricorn, whatever her name, I don't think she black. I don't think any of those women were black. The only one that was black that I know of is Young Miami. Young Miami and Kim Porter. Young Miami and Kim Porter. But all the rest of them, none of them were black. They were a bunch of racially ambiguous women and or Asian. Period, point blank. That's it. So who knows? Maybe that's why they even considering the Mann Act. And that's a good question as Black Americans we should ask. And if you're a black man, you should really be asking about that. Is this only for purposes of women that you don't want me to be with? Or is this something about, you see what I'm saying? Cassie is, I think she's mixed with Filipino, Hispanic, a little touch of black. Yeah, Cassie is like a gumbo pot. Cassie is literally a gumbo pot. Literally. Yeah, Cassie's a gumbo pot. So she's different. She's going to hit different. Miss Kelly J, thank you for being a member for 9 months. You ain't never lied. They only show you what they want you to see to get the conversation going. Yes. And remember, I told you guys, this trial is more about getting Diddy out of the paint and getting him out of the industry and taking away his clout and his, what are the words I want to use? This is more or less about them taking away Diddy's access and his celebrity and his money than anything else. Jail time is what we call over here land gap. That's extra. If he can go to jail, cool. We can siphon more of his money too that way. But the biggest thing that they wanted to take away from this trial is for him to no longer have the star power that he had and for them to drain all of his resources and wealth. And you got to know this. By the time Diddy settled the bill with this doggone lawyer and all his fees and this, that, and the third, he's going to put a nice little cut in his pocketbook. It's a nice little cut going to go down to the pocketbook. That's all I'm going to say. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I believe this is all about. But who am I? Thank you for the super sticker, Miss Kelly J. I appreciate you. Dimple Pop, thank you for the super chat. Who else thinks Tisa sniffs? Oh, I don't know about all that, baby. I ain't saying all that. Oh no, baby. You Dimple Pop, you trying to get me in trouble, girl. Let me get you up off of here, girl. I ain't said all that. Voodoo didn't say it. I didn't say it. That is what they said. I didn't say it. Method to my Helene, right? Gene Deal windmilling in the air. Hold that thought. Method to my madness has the Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act, is a United States federal law passed in 1910. Heavy on the white. Oh yeah. That makes sense. But can we talk about Gene Deal? One thing I've been noticing about the good brother Gene Deal, he's been very passionate about this case. And, I'm going to be completely honest. A lot of people are passionate about this case. So I don't think that that's a big deal. However, Gene Deal, the way he's been kind of moving, talking about how it's so important with this, that, and the third, I don't know. It's kind of given to me that Gene Deal had a little bit more on this, riding on this guilty verdict than leading up. You know what I mean? Is it me? Bree, thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you so much, Bree. But is it me though, y'all? Y'all been listening to Gene talk about this trial? Have y'all been listening? Like look at Gene Deal. Like, for instance, watch. I'm gonna let y'all hear just a little bit. I'm gonna just find a random part. Because Gene Deal is another person. I was listening to a lot of his testimony prior to the trial, but then once the trial started, I ain't gonna hold you. I fell back off of Gene. I don't know why I just fell back off of Gene. Something about it. I just kind of fell back and said, let me just pay attention to the trial. Look at Gene.
East Chester Housing, Tiana Towers, and Lampert Housing, doing the security teams around there. I ran clubs, the Mirage. You understand? I did the security. I did a lot of things. I helped guys in the street change their life, reintegrate them back. And I Mighty, just give me a minute, brother. Just give me a minute, because I want to get this out, bro. Because, because a lot of people is going to say, like, yo, after Puff and this trial thing goes on with Bad Boy, the Gene don't have a story. You understand? If these people would read my books, if these people will do interviews and talk about a lot of stuff in my book, they know I did a lot of stuff in the streets that help guys get out the streets. People want to shut me up and people want me to be quiet because I tell guys it's all right to go to work every day. It's all right to get your education. It's all right.
This is my thing. Gene, just like Roger Bonds, I don't know who all was on the live when we spoke about Roger Bonds. The very first time we talked about Roger Bonds, and he was giving his testimony. And the first thing I said was, I feel like Roger Bonds is only doing this because Diddy's not doing something for him. And it turns out that was the truth. His son, was it Roger Bonds or was it the other guy? I think it was Roger Bonds. But his son he wanted Diddy to help his son off of a murder case or something like that. It's always give or take, scratch my back, scratch yours. I always found it funny that when Gene Deal would tell his stories, I would always say, but what did you do? Just like Roger Bonds, you telling me about the time he dragged Cassie and knocked across that floor. You as the bodyguard, you could snatch Diddy up in one hand. What did you do? What did you do? And it's not just for Gene Deal. This is all of these people around there. Nobody gets a pass to me. Nobody. Not Cassie, not Kim Porter, none of them. Everybody is complicit in this. Every single person is complicit in this. You cannot tear down a system by one man. You can't do that. And this is why I know the powers that be, and neither do you want to tear down that system. Because if you did, we wouldn't only be saying Diddy's a monster. We'd be saying Cassie's a monster. Gene Deal is a monster. Roger Bonds is a monster. Capricorn Clark is a monster. Kid Cudi is a monster. All them niggas will be monsters. Cassie ain't no winner. Cassie the only winner because she got money, but Cassie is a monster too. She was having sex knowing she had STIs. That's a criminal, known spreader. None of these people, none of them. Jane Doe was the worst of the worst. Jane Doe was the worst of the worst. All of these people are trash. Every single one of them. So when people be mad at me because I don't want to see Cassie as the damsel in distress like you, fuck Cassie. She ain't shit. She ain't. She stuck around 10 years to go do freak off after freak off after freak off after freak off, UTI after UTI after UTI after UTI, STI after STI after STI after STI. We got people on here telling us how they done gave them the hurt, the clap, the stomp, and everything else. I'm tired of this. Y'all can miss me with that. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that media bullshit. Because y'all don't want the system to tear down. Because guess what? You don't think Cassie gonna go find her another man to do a freak off? Or Capricorn Clark? Or Jane Doe? You don't think them folks gonna go find them somebody else with money and keep the freak offs going? Because y'all don't care about not having victims. Y'all don't care about that. Tell the truth. You don't. Because if you did, you try to tear down the whole system. Not the one nigga with the money. Now, I want to talk about the mess. Now, I heard people been getting on our mind. And let me say this. Why y'all getting on our mind? People were saying, now, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give my personal opinion about Armand covering the story. I think that Armand did amazing. I think that the way Armand covered this case on a day-to-day basis was not completely, but extremely unbiased. And I think that it gave a great perspective on day-to-day how the case was going. So if Armand is in court on Monday and Monday he felt like the prosecution was doing good, then when Monday night came and Armand went live, Armand is going to tell you the prosecution did their big one and it's not looking good for Diddy. But if Wednesday Armand went into the courtroom and the defense did good, then he's gonna come back Wednesday night and say, "Hey, I know I told y'all it wasn't looking good for Diddy on Monday, but after what I seen in the courtroom, it's really looking good for Diddy, and the prosecution is messing this up." And what it was is he was giving you real time, and it seemed to be unbiased reactions. I think Armand did a great job. People who are on here saying, "Oh, he should be feeling some type of way because he said Diddy was guilty." Who knows? That could have been his conclusion toward the end of the trial. But that still don't mean that he didn't give you unbiased reporting. And I don't even want to help up for Armand because I don't even care about Armand, to be honest. But if I'm going to be for real about what happened during this trial, Armand is the GOAT king of this trial recap bullshit. The boy did his big one. Okay? So, yeah, he probably felt like at the end yesterday that Diddy did it. He's seeing stuff other than we are. And a lot of people felt like that. But he was wrong. And that don't mean necessarily that he was rooting for Diddy to lose. If he was rooting for Diddy to lose, I will say this to Armand. If you were rooting for Diddy to lose, you did a damn good job at playing it off like you wasn't. Armand did an amazing job. But you know how it go. People going to be critical of you regardless. That, you know what I mean? People gonna be critical of you regardless. Hell, we were just over here talking about Tisa. You know how I go. You know, and I'm pretty sure Armand ain't tripping on it. I hope he not. You know, Armand is not a lawyer. How would he know? He's there. You know, you don't have to be a lawyer, like a juror. You don't have to be a lawyer. You can be a spectator. As a matter of fact, I know people who go do so much court stuff, they be knowing more than the lawyers. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Neek at Night. Neek at Night been out there at the courthouse. You know, she was at the Tory Lanez trial. Neek did look a little disappointed. Poor Neek. Neek looked disappointed at the verdict because I saw Armand talking to Neek. And she looked a bit disappointed. Who else did I see out there? Who else did I? Lovely T. I saw Lovely T out there. I didn't watch much of her coverage, though, because Lovely T must have came late. Lovely T must have came late. I didn't watch much of her coverage. Who else? I can't remember, but Mims, yes, Mims did amazing. Queen Sheba, who is Queen Sheba? I know that name. I heard that name. Queen Sheba, I feel like I know her. She did. Attorney Simone, she did good. I want to give all the content creators props because I was over there in the bushes trying to see what was going on. Tisa Tells, Armand, Donat, who else I just said? All them people that was out there, Neek at Night, Lovely T, all them people, Dennis Byron, that's his name, Queen Sheba, Mims, all them people that went out there for the trial, bro. Y'all the real goats, because I'm gonna be honest. Y'all the real goats, because other than that, yeah, Ratchet TV, because other than that, we would have had to rely on the CNNs and the MSNBCs if y'all didn't go out there. We would have had to rely on TMZ. I love that YouTube was represented out there. And I love that even though it started off very rocky, you know, we are in the storming phase of this whole media thing here. You know, everybody who know about group think and group work, it goes in phases. It goes the forming phase, and then there's a storming phase. Right now, we in the storming phase. That means everything is in chaos. Them niggas was out there ready to fight each other. The Knot was trying to fight. Everybody was fighting, girl. It was a lot going on. Chronicle Speaks was out there. That's what's up. So it was a lot going on. But I think for the next one, because there's another one coming up. Yes, Queen Amadea. I never could pronounce this sister's name. Sister, please forgive me. I like her. I'm Queen A. I'm going to just call you Queen A. I could never pronounce this sister name. And I'm so sorry for mispronouncing her name. But Queen A, I love her. She's so beautiful. I love her. I like her too. She's been doing a lot on the Diddy trial. But, you know, I feel like YouTube got our rep out there and we got our boots on the ground. We got our boots on the ground and we, you know, y'all came back with the big one. Y'all did y'all big one. Armand did better than the news people. Armand did better than the CNN people. Why do you think everybody was coming to get Armand? Why? You ever asked yourself that? 5 years ago, CNN, what's that lady name? That clear woman y'all like, Nancy Grace. Them people wouldn't even look twice back at a YouTuber 5 years ago. Armand was pulling in more people on his live sometimes than these major platforms. Same thing happened with Funky Dineva and Fox Soul. I keep telling y'all, when the talent, anybody could be a content creator, but not everybody can be a content creator. Don't let it go over your head. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the bike. Anybody could be a content creator, but not everybody could be a content creator. And the ones who are content creators, those are the ones who are sought after because they are unpolishedly polished to a point that it captivates the audience and it makes people want to hear you and listen to you. I want to hear from the guy who's now in a face full of makeup and a suit and tie and he got a script that he's reading. I don't want to hear from that dude because he's going to say the same thing on channel 8 that the dude on channel 6 say. I don't want to hear from him. Get ignorant ass Denied out there so I can see what the hell going on. You see what I'm saying? And this is no shade. Shout out to Denied because I like Denied. But what I'm saying is I need regular boots to the ground with the regular people with their flaws and their ignorance and their bullshit so I can see what's really going on. Get Armand out there. Get Neek at Night. Get these girls. Get these people out there. Because I need to see good, bad, or indifferent. I need to see what's going on. And I think that's dope. I think that's dope. So shout out to the YouTube. I heard it was a lot of mess, but shout out to the YouTubers. Girl, I don't care nothing about no Diddy to go be standing out there spending no money out no trial, girl, sitting in no line and all of that. Girl, please. Sitting in a line. Diddy trial. Bitch, please. I'll sit here and Joce with y'all. We gonna Joce together. You feel me? Girl, I ain't got no time. But anyway, at 1 p.m., that's 1 p.m. my time, these folks is gonna come back and tell us if Diddy is guilty. I'm sorry. If Diddy would be kept and remain in prison or if they are gonna allow him to be free. Now, I'm hearing he's facing up to 7 years in jail or something like that. I'm not sure, but if you are the diddler, I'm not going to hold you. This man was facing 2 or 3 life sentences. If you are the diddler, nigga, the Most High or somebody looking out for you. You got more luck than sense. Hey, whenever you get out, the freak offs, you got to stop. You got to stop the freak offs. I don't even care if you make everybody sign and do video consent forms. You got to stop the freak offs, bro. You got to stop it. You got enough tapes and evidence. Go look at that and play with yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to leave the freak offs behind. Now, I know Jane Doe waiting on you to get out so she can go on and Earl apartment up so you can slide on through. But don't let Jane Doe buck you up to lose your life and your freedom, my nigga. The last nigga, you seen what happened to the last security guards? Y'all saw what happened when they let OJ off. Y'all saw what happened when they let OJ off? They let OJ off. Nigga broke in OJ place. Stole his paraphernalia, stole OJ stuff. OJ found the dudes who stole his stuff, stole it back, and they gave OJ about 30 years in jail. Tread light, diddler. Tread light. That's all I'm saying. Because I already know Jane Doe got the Earl. I can see her right now. Soon as the verdict came back, not guilty, I can see her right now. All in there. Oh, yeah, because we don't get up tonight. I'ma get. Oh yeah, we getting Black Rob, but Black Rob gonna come over here. I might go on. Yeah, it's gonna be going. I can see it now. Don't fall for it, diddler. Go lay down. Go lay down. Because them people on your ass. I'm telling you now. Them people is on your ass. And let me say this to all them niggas and all them bitches who, not the ones who didn't say nothing, but them too. I'm talking about the ones who wanted to follow the trend and, oh, Diddy is horrible, Diddy is that. Pay attention to him. I need y'all to pay attention to him. Pay attention to these people. I promise you. 50, let's go see what 50 had to say. Let's go see what 50 had to say. You guys, get the likes up on the video. What y'all think 50 had to say about the verdict? Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like I said, the world is a stage. So there's that. You never know. Let's go see what Fifth. What you got to say, Fifth? Let me see if Fifth posted anything. I don't see nothing, y'all. Hold on. Fifth, is there anything you would like to say? 39 minutes. Okay, we got something. We got action. Diddy beat the feds. That boy a bad man. Beat the Rico. He the gay John Gotti. Nigga, what? Why would you? Girl, never mind. I don't even care no more. Nigga say he the gay R. Kelly. I mean, he the gay John Gotti. So the people are celebrating, y'all. The people are reacting to the Diddy verdict, and the people got a lot to say. Hold on really quickly. I want to show y'all. Oh, Boosie. Y'all know Boosie had something to say. Let's go get Boosie Boo. Let's go get Boosie Boo. Let's see what Boosie had to say. Boosie, let's see what's going on.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. Like, and I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that.
Us.
And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, you know, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this shit for hip hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind a relationship, you know. And people always Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kids' position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all was like, no, I'm thinking about them damn children, man. So man, I'm glad he's free, bro. You know, like I've been said, I don't feel he was guilty of nothing. You know, nothing but domestic violence. You know, but the court spoke, man, and man, I'm happy that dude children, man. I know his feeling right now, bro. I'm just happy for them children, man. So, you know, Diddy sit your ass down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Grab Stevie J and your children and get the fuck on.
That nigga said, grab Stevie J and your churn and get the F on. Not Stevie J, not the old lady. Not the old lady. But either way, that's what Boosie had to say. Boosie has been vocal about his support of Diddy. I think because in Boosie's mind, they are the same. That's why he say us moguls. Us? Wait, nigga, what? Yeah, in his mind, they all the same. You know what I'm saying? And I think he lives vicariously through these other niggas and they failures and they good things. So that's what Boosie had to say about the whole situation. Listen, Boosie an ignorant ass nigga, but that nigga consistent. Do you hear me? If Boosie rocking with you, I don't give a damn if it's just you and Boosie against everybody in the world. That nigga gonna still go down with you. You feel what I'm saying? So I give him that. But shut your ugly ass up, Boosie. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. But anyway, that's what Boosie had to say. But a lot of people have been freaking out about the verdict. And I want to say this to black women. Black women. I think that black women, number one, I think that you should be happy. Or not happy. I think that you should be relieved, black women, that it's not a gang of you at the target of this madness. This is not you. This is not a black woman's issue. this specific case isn't a black woman's issue. Black women have issues, and this in general is a black woman issue, but this specific case isn't specific to black women. Actually, if you think about it, we don't have nothing to do with this. If you really think about it, if black women really were to sit down and think about this case, black women, we don't have nothing to do with this case. We're just emotional about it because, first of all, Diddy is black. And then also, we used to being the ones at the behest or at the end of the nigga with the BS. But we really didn't have anything to do with anything about this case from the very beginning. But for some odd reason, the empathy that we have for women and the empathy that we have each other, coupled with a bit of ignorance of not knowing who we are, I think that what happens is we just go full throttle. But at the end of the day, the black woman, the two black women that were in his life are not saying any of these things happened to them. Kim Porter, because she's not here, obviously, and Cassie, and Carisha. The two black women are the ones he put up on the pedestal. At least to us. At least to us. So as far as how black women feel about this case, I want you guys to look at it like this, because I understand that this internet stuff goes home with people. When people log out of this internet, they take this stuff with them. So I'm talking to black women. I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm talking to black women, full black women. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to black women. This ain't your fight, fat. This actually didn't have nothing to do with you. From beginning to end, nothing about this had anything to do with you. Granted, as a woman, you feel for a woman going through it. I do too. However, it should not cause you to have any break or pauses in your real life. It shouldn't, because you don't have nothing to do with this. And everything that was said about Kim Porter allegedly happening to Kim is all speculation, because Kim ain't here to say yay or nay. So we don't know. We don't know. We don't know nothing. All we know is what the rumors been saying. We all circulating the same rumors. Kim ain't here to say yay or nay. We heard about the nasty, trifling, disgusting things that he did to these women, and none of these women were black women. But if some people, I've learned there are some people who want to be in a depressive, negative space. If that's you, I'm not even speaking to you. Carry on. I'm talking about to the women who want to keep up their mental health, because they know how important it is that it affects their physical health and how it affects the people around them, their family, their children. Stop taking this negativity home with you, bro. This shit the world is a stage. This shit fake, bro. That's a whole other thing. But even if you internalizing this shit as reality, black women were not at the behest of any of this shit. Let them folks fight their own battles. I thought we was over here talking about fighting our own battles. I thought we was just over here yesterday talking about fighting our own battles. Why? Don't give too much of you. Don't do too much now. We don't have that to give. Not now. 20 years ago, maybe. Today, we ain't got it to give. Deal with it and move on. Deal with it and we got to move on. We got bigger fish to fry. Deal with it and move on. Whatever gonna happen to Diddy, we gonna watch it, we gonna Joce it, we gonna laugh, we gonna joke, we gonna cry, we gonna be mad, we gonna do all of that, and then we gotta move on. Just don't take this Diddy shit with you. I get it, and this is another thing too, and this is why they do what they do. What they did was, you know how many women suffered under the hand of domestic violence? I done been stabbed by a nigga. A nigga done literally stabbed me. Like literally stabbed me. I done been stabbed by a nigga. I done had a nigga punch me in my nose and both my eyes black, full black. I'm talking about like black as this goddamn phone. I had a nigga go boom room, and I never knew that if you get hit in the nose, when you come to, both your eyes go like this. I had no clue. This is what they are using to use against you. Okay? This is what they use because they know a lot of us have had them type of stories. We can sit here and drag and Joce for hours and we'll all have stories and still have more to go. They know that. That's why they keep replaying the video in the hallway over and over to keep reiterating and drilling in your head. Look at this nigga. Look. They drilling it and drilling it and drilling. And that taps into something if you have not dealt with. Listen. It taps into something if you have not dealt with it. It'll tap into that. I don't want that to go over nobody's head. Remember what I just told you. I've been stabbed by a nigga. I done had a nigga punch me in my nose, and when I came to, both my eyes was like this. And that's only 2 stories. But when you haven't dealt with that, it's easy to tap back into that. And America knows that most people walking around have not dealt with that. I'm just telling you the truth. You don't have to want to hear it, but I'm just telling you. They know that y'all haven't dealt with that, and they know that they can tap that really, really quickly. And that's what they did. And it causes you not to think. It causes you to remain here. And when you remain here and you can't think, they got you. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the game. Take it how you want. Do with it as you please. I'm just saying, that's how they got you. That's why they started off with Cassie getting beat in the hotel. I swear to God, I might tell you anything on this world, but the Most High could take my life right now. They did that on purpose, y'all. When you haven't dealt with your past and your trauma, it's easy to tap back in. And it ain't got nothing to do with physical violence. If you come up under a toxic mother who always talked to you crazy, dragged you down to the ground. I know a lot of people in the chat come up with a toxic mama. You a bitch, call you a bitch every now and every time you turn around, you raggedy hoe, you woo, 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 woo. People who have not dealt with that, when they get in the real world, they can't handle all of this. This don't sit right with them. See this? It taps into that time when your mama was calling you your fat, nasty bitch. Woo, 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 woo. That taps that. So what happens is when that grown adult walks around the world and somebody does this, and it taps on that time when their mama was woo, 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 woo. And this is all happening in your subconscious. This is why the hands get thrown, and this is why things go all the way left. This is what the media has done. They have found a way to tap into your unworked trauma. And it works flawlessly every fucking time. It works flawlessly. And I could sit here and tell you guys this right now. This is what frustrates me. And y'all will agree with me. But in 5 minutes, if somebody put out a tape of Jay-Z stomping down a white girl, we're going to be back down the same road. Because it don't matter. Once the tapping happens, once it taps into that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. This is why it's good for you to deal with your trauma. Everybody can't do it. But if you can, you should probably try to deal with your trauma, because once people know what your trauma or your traumatic points is, they're going to continue to. That's why when y'all be in y'all relationships and that nigga know you have an insecurity about something, what the first thing he do when y'all get into it? Fat ass. He already know you're insecure about your weight. Fat ass. He already know that's gonna get under your skin. You do the same thing to him. You know that that nigga insecure about how small his thing is, little dick ass nigga. You know it. That's why you said it. It's to tap that unfixed problem, that unworked trauma. That's what that is all about. That's what the media is doing to y'all. But neither here nor there. This is why we got to figure out our work, our stuff. Now, what else I wanted to show y'all with this Diddy crap? Hold on, because I really don't want y'all to do nothing crazy. Oh, let me share this. So just so we know what's happening right now, according to what's been going on, the judge, oh crap, I just closed the damn window. girl. But let me go pull it back up. I just closed the whole freaking window. That literally makes no sense. Y'all get the likes up on the video, please. Get the likes up. Please get the likes up on the video. Let the people know we around here. Joce, Diddy is not guilty. Diddy has been found not guilty. Look at Cassie lawyer. Now, like I told y'all before, they're going to come back at 1, and this is where the prosecution is going to have to come back and argue whether or not Diddy should be released, because Diddy's team wants him released today. Diddy's attorneys, after being found not guilty, them folks said they want Diddy out the paint today. And the judge is giving the prosecution up until 1 p.m. to argue under the Mann Act, which is a racist law that was put in place for black men who sleep with clear women. But they have to argue under the Mann Act why Diddy should not be free, okay? But according to Diddy's team, they want him home today. Now, Cassie's lawyer has spoken out, and it says, Cassie's lawyer praises her strength despite split Diddy verdict. Change is long overdue, and we will continue to fight on behalf of survivors. This is my question. This is what I want to know. And this is a genuine question, because I'm not about to let y'all gaslight me. The statute of limitations for the shit that was going on between Cassie and Diddy had already passed. So if she wanted him to go to jail, she couldn't put him in jail. But it seems like she was good to go with just a payday. You got your payday. Now what? Because in my opinion, if Diddy belongs in jail, Cassie belongs in jail too. So what is it? What more do you want? This girl got $30 million. What more do you want? What else do you want? If Cassie was my skin tone on here talking about we still gonna fight, y'all would drag Cassie down to the motherfucking ground. Lord forbid she was a nappy head hoe. Lord forbid she had a little bush, a nappy head black girl. God forbid she had a little weight on and she was fat. I saw how y'all did that girl who said Usher gave her the hurt. If this was a black ass, nappy head ass girl, y'all would be saying, girl, sit the down. Y'all would be dragging Cassie. But when you got the protection or the complexion for protection, people seem to sympathize with you. Y'all acted like Cassie wasn't a participant. She wasn't only a member, she was a client too. Y'all forget that part. I don't know why. I'm not going to let y'all forget it. I don't care how mad people get. I'm not going to let y'all forget that that bitch was Robin and he was Batman. He was Batman and that hoe was Robin. I'm not going to let y'all forget that. She got $30 million. What more do you want, girl? Come on, man. Y'all crazy. But again, there's a lot of Cassies in the industry. And what they do is what Cassie did, or what I believe Cassie to do. She got with Ryan Leslie. That was the first stepping stone to get her to the big dog. And that was Sean Combs. And she was willing to do whatever she got to do to be in that number. Like when the Saints go marching in. I'm not going to let y'all do it. That bitch is a co-conspirator. I don't give a mother pluck. I said what I said. Anyway, so let's see what Cassie had to say. It says, statement from Douglas H. Wigdor. This entire criminal process started when our client, Cassie Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. And I don't believe that Cassie filed that complaint on her own. I believe that Cassie was prompted by people behind her with more power and more money. This is way bigger than Cassie. Cassie was the catalyst used to bring Diddy down. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for the jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. By coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and her fight for justice. We must repeat with no reservation that we believe and support our client, who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. She displayed unquestionable strength and brought attention to the realities of powerful men in our orbit and the misconduct that has persisted for decades without repercussion. This case proved that a change is long overdue, and we will continue to fight on behalf of survivors. So y'all gonna make her a martyr then, right? So now Cassie gonna be the face of DV. Cassie about to be the face of DV now. Cassie about to be the brand ambassador for strength in women suffering through DV. That's what we about to do, because that's what it sounds like. Sound like y'all want to make Cassie the brand ambassador for surviving domestic violence. And I'm not going to let y'all do it. I refuse to let y'all do it. Are y'all insane? It sounds like the lawyer trying to make Cassie the spokesperson for surviving domestic violence, and I refuse to let y'all do it. I refuse to let y'all do it. Watch she be the face. Watch. She gonna be on commercials, advertisements. Watch. And because she is the victim, and people have untapped trauma that they don't want to deal with, they gonna co-sign it. Yep, she surely. Cassie made it so I can come out. She made me strong. Bitch, if you had to see Cassie come out and tell us Diddy popped upside the head to leave that nigga, you had bigger problems than this. I'm going to be honest. If it took you to watch Cassie to come out here and get popped upside the head in the doggone elevator, if that's what it took for you to leave that nigga, you got bigger problems than you think, girl. But I guess we're going to make Cassie a martyr now. Cassie's a martyr. So she is the face of DV now, I guess, allegedly. I don't know. I don't know. I just live here. I tell y'all all the time, I'm just passing through. I am not supposed to be here in this age and time. Girl, I'm supposed to be back in the early 1900s. I was not supposed to be here. All right, let's get into Now, I don't know how true this is, but this is from Live Bites. But Live Bites is saying that what Diddy is facing, they're saying that he's facing up to 10 years for each count. It says the Diddy docket in the matter of USA versus Combs about sentencing, Diddy faces up to 10 years for each count. As a first-time offender, he is likely to receive a much lighter sentence. And then he gave the example, 6 to 12 months probation. So even if he's facing up to 10, the boy might get time served and sent home with an ankle monitor. And we still ain't got justice for all the nasty things he really did. I don't care what he did in his bedroom with them hoes. I'm talking about the real stuff he did with Bad Boy and all them people. Tisa crying, asking feminists to stand up right now. What? You lying. Don't lie. She crying. Let me go find Tisa. Do Tisa be striking people when they play her stuff? What you mean Tisa crying?
Listen, you guys, I will always be a voice for victims. I will always be a voice for good. And I just do want to say that when it comes to all this stuff, it is what it is. The fight continues. The fight continues. And if anybody offers you a piece of Turkish delight, don't take it. Whatever they're offering you, it is not worth it.
Let me say this. Some people do want to be the voice for victims. I just think that we got the wrong victims. Like, they got real victims. Like, they didn't sign up for it. They didn't change their mind 20 years later. Like, these girls were unsuspected. They got real victims. I just wish that those girls you know what I mean? I wish I heard from those women versus these hoes. That's all. I really wish I heard from those women instead of these hoes. I don't care about these hoes. I want to know what's going on with these real victims and how, you know what I mean? I want to help real. I don't care about all that. Because none of them girls that came up there is a real victim. Now, really quickly, hold on. While we're waiting for 1 o'clock, because 1 o'clock is when they're going to come out and tell us, girl, how much time is going to be happening. I want to ask you, I want to show y'all something. Did y'all see this? Hold on. I want to see if y'all saw something really quickly. Did y'all see this? And what do you think? So apparently, a judge dismissed Jay-Z's case against Tony Busby for defamation. So y'all recall when Tony Busby dropped that case on Jay-Z? Well, he really dropped it on Diddy, and then he added Jay-Z at the end. And when he added Jay-Z at the end saying that they did X, Y, and Z, Jay-Z did a countersuit and filed a lawsuit for defamation against Tony Busby. Now, Tony Busby is definitely an ambulance chaser. However, he's a federal ambulance chaser. That means I believe Tony Busby is given a target and told what to do. I don't believe he's acting alone. Okay? Now, as it pertains to Tony Busby, the judge had came back and said that Diddy was unfounded by saying that Tony Busby filing this case is defamation, and now it's giving Tony Busby a big battery in his back, and he really running around here feeling like, oh, now I'm about to go ham. Remember, Jay-Z is a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire with clean hands. That don't go like that. Clean people with clean hands don't become rich and powerful. It don't go like that. You can't have it. It don't go like that. I promise you. So if I'm just saying, but we gonna wait for him. He coming. It's so many in line. You know what I'm saying? It says, Jay-Z may have 99 problems, but Tony Busby definitely seems to be the one he can't shake. In a big legal twist, a California judge dismissed Hov's extortion and defamation lawsuit against the Houston-based attorney, and let's just say both sides got a lot to say. As previously reported, Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, originally filed the lawsuit after Busby attached the rapper's name to a highly controversial case involving an Alabama woman. The woman listed as Jane Doe had claimed she was essayed at 13, but once Jay-Z's legal team came through with the receipts, the woman quickly dropped all allegations against him. She kept her case against Diddy, though. It says, despite Doe backing off from Jay-Z, the Rock Nation mogul wasn't letting off the accusation slide. His team sued Busby and co-counsel David Fortney, claiming they were soullessly motivated by greed and showed abject disregard of the truth and most fundamental precepts of human decency. It says, but Judge Mark Epstein wasn't fully convinced, dropping the gavel on the case with a 65-page ruling, Rolling Stone report. So basically, Jay-Z lawsuit against Tony Busby saying that he's defaming him. Apparently the judge said that's cap. So now Tony Busby has been cutting up, saying all types of stuff. Now that them put a huge battery in Tony Busby's back. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So, this is what Rock Nation said. We are surprised and disappointed by this ruling, which turns on the misapplication of California law on the admissibility of the investigator statements, Carter's lawyer, Alex Spiro, tells Rolling Stone in a statement. Notably, the judge expressly states that his decision would have changed dramatically if he had admitted the statements into evidence, as they would have shown not only that Carter had nothing to do with any essay on Doe, but that Busby knew it. And thus the court would come out the other way on this motion. It says, what does it say about our justice system if someone can knowingly bring about completely false claims and the most heinous nature imaginable against an innocent individual and get away with it on a technicality? Spiro adds. And then it says, we plan to, what else? appeal this case immediately. So Jay-Z's lawyer saying that they're going to appeal the denial of the defamation. And then Tony Busby says, yet another huge win. John Doe's case against me and the Busby law firm alleging extortion and defamation was thrown out by the court. As I said when I filed, the case was completely meritless. We will now seek attorney's fees against John Doe for bringing the legally flawed case. So now Tony Busby is saying, now we want legal fees brought because y'all basically trying to play on us. It's a back and forth with this trial thing. It's a back and forth. Jay-Z's lawyers feel like the only reason the case was dismissed was because of a technicality. I don't know. But either way, Jay-Z right now, that wasn't a good move, or it wasn't a good look for Jay-Z's defense. Okay. But I told y'all the earth is repairing itself. Remember, I told you guys that? I said the earth is repairing itself and do not get in the way of it. So I'm going to just watch. Okay? So yeah. Y'all get the likes up on the video. I don't know how y'all felt about that, but we'll see. Anybody? I wouldn't go back and forth with Busby either. I swear to God, I wouldn't. I literally would not. Like, not doing it. Oh, y'all want to see your boy? Y'all want to see your boy? Mugshot. My boy Twine. They got his mugshot. Y'all. There you go. They got my boy. They got him. Yes, they do. They got my boy. Damn, Twine. And you know what it made me think about? He had those chest pieces on his forehead and on his cheeks, and he don't even know how to play. I know the nigga don't know how to play, because if he knew how to play chess, he wouldn't be around the corner from the jailhouse chilling out in the Airbnb. So I know that nigga went out. He must have saw him in a catalog and said, give me 3 of them. Because ain't no way that nigga know how to play chess, and he was hiding around the corner. Twine got caught, bro. Derrick Groves is still out and about. But Twine, they got him, bro. They got Twine, bro. Poor Twine. He was just trying. But I told y'all, niggas don't have no money. They can't go on the run. It costs money to go on the run. You can't go on the run with no money. Y'all be looking at the movies and stuff. Y'all tripping. That's what the movies show y'all. You got to have money to go on the run in real life. You know what else, Bart, it thought about too? Now that we on this, I have a question. So when we were talking about this Diddy thing, and I'm bringing it back to Diddy right quick. Let's talk about realism. Some of the things that was saying and that they were saying in this story about what Diddy did, it was unrealistic to me. Like, for instance, the girl who said she was held up over the balcony for minutes by her titties. Now, as a person who's had titties since she was 12, I found that astronomically unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I offered somebody to try it out to see if it'll work, and nobody has, because I'm pretty positive it does not work. Now, let's talk about realism, right? So people are saying that Diddy was holding people over balconies and stuff like that. And you know where that comes from? The movies. Y'all remember the 5 Heartbeats? Remember when Red held that man over the balcony and he said, what's my office hours? And he said 9 to 5. Y'all remember that? Y'all get that from the movies. Do you know that physically it would probably be impossible for the average person to even dangle a damn 5-year-old over a balcony, let alone another grown-ass man or woman? Do you know if you try to take 2 5-pound buckets and hold it over the balcony? I saw this on somebody, Charlucci. That was on Armand's channel, and Charlucci is Diddy's best friend, and he made a good point. If you take 2 5-pound buckets and hold it over any balcony or ledge for 5 minutes, you will know that it is probably impossible for Diddy to pick a bitch up by her titties and hold her over the balcony. Let's just be realistic. Let's be realistic now. And honestly, if anybody were to do that experiment, you would know that that's cap. A lot of the stuff was just so far-fetched, bro. Like, I still don't believe it. I don't believe that. I'm going to say the top 3 stories for me These are my top 3 Diddy stories. These are my top 3. I got my top 3 in no particular order. Titties over the balcony. That's top 3, no particular order, okay? My other one was the knife fight. Y'all remember when they was doing samurai sword fighting? Remember when the girl said the doorbell rung and she said when she opened the door, all she know is Diddy was behind the door with a knife like this? And by the time she opened the door, Diddy had done hum that bitch and it swooped past Cassie and it cut her right here just so where she could feel a little blood. And the girl said Cassie felt the blood and went. And then took the knife and threw it back. Then the girl said it was knives throwing all across the room. And I'm over here saying, and nobody got stabbed? Then the girl said, after that, Diddy just left and went home. Bitch, please. So wait a minute. This nigga knocked on the door. As soon as you open the door, started throwing knives. And then once they finished, he just was like, all right, I'm going to catch y'all later. Okay, that's my knife story is number 2. No particular order. And number 3 will be the one where the girl said Diddy stood up on one leg with the other leg in the air like Karate Kid. And the girl said, I'm about to show y'all what the girl said. So y'all can see what I'm talking about. This the other one. This the other one that I find a little hard to believe. And I think that if we peel back the layers, we're not going to believe this either. Okay? I'm about to show y'all what the girl said Diddy was doing. Let me show y'all what the girl said Diddy was doing. The girl said Diddy was doing shit like this. The girl said Diddy would run in the house like this. And that's... Wait. Because this high... Listen, I'm a visual person. My brain don't work in words. It work in pictures. So when the girl was saying what Diddy was coming in the house and doing, I ain't gonna lie. This what I was seeing in my head. So when the girl said Diddy was coming through that bitch, you feel me? Pushing back the pea coat or the trench coat, you feel me? Coming around that bitch, he see Cassie and he see her over there with somebody. In my head, Diddy climbed up the wall and hit her with that kick like that. I'm a visual person. I can't help it. I think in picture. I think in music and picture. I don't think in words. So when the girl was describing it, this was going on in my head. And I kept saying, I need to see it. I need to see a replica. I need somebody to reenact. I need to see this. Okay? Because this is how the girl said the fight was going, girl. This is how they say the fight was going with Diddy. Now, I know Diddy got money and he could take a lot of classes, but I'd be damned if that nigga could turn into Bruce Lee now. Y'all made it seem like Diddy took classes from Bruce Lee's little boy or something like that. Girl, y'all got to stop. Yeah, me. And he did it all in drawers and a robe. Could you imagine Diddy climbing the walls like this? Could you imagine Cassie coming in late and Diddy coming behind the door saying, where were you at? And then before Cassie could respond, this nigga flipped the robe back. Listen to me. Before Cassie could respond, flipped that motherfucking robe back and said, bitch, you must have lost your mind and go to climbing up that wall like that. Could you? Because that's how I felt in my head. In my head, that's how I felt like the fight was happening. That's how I felt like the fight was happening. Girl, y'all, listen, I'm going to just be honest. This Diddy trial, no cap, this Diddy trial was probably one of the funniest. Listen, I want to go back and re-listen to these stories because this is crazy. I think they brought in a writer. I'm pretty positive they brought in a writer. Oh, I forgot about that, Diva. They were throwing green apples, girl, humming apples at people. Girl, it's just so much. Now, the apples I believe, but the top 3 I didn't believe was titties over the balcony. I don't believe the titties over the balcony. I don't believe the samurai sword fight. And I don't believe the kick fighting. The girl said Diddy had his one leg on the ground and one leg in the air and was just kicking the girl. Boom, 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 boom. She said that he was going so fast. The girl said she didn't know where the kicks was coming from. She said she caught a concussion. She didn't know. All she know was the last thing she saw. This is what the girl said. She said the last thing she saw was Diddy running toward her. And by the time that girl could come to, it was over. It was too late. It was too late. It was too late. Because according to the girl said this how Diddy came behind her. The girl said, what was the girl name? Was it what, not Capricorn? Was it Capricorn? Which one of the girls? I'm gonna set the story up. The girl said she was in there with Diddy chilling, and Diddy got mad at her, and she said, "I'm done with this," and she ran out the door. Now she said she was running as fast as she could, but something told her to look back. She said, and when she looked back, all she saw was Diddy coming behind her like this. Let me show you. She said all she saw was Diddy coming behind her like this. Up the street. That's what she said. Now, I'm not saying Diddy can't do this, but all I'm saying is I got to see it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Diddy can't do it. I'm just saying I need to see it. That's all. I was there for the testimony. I was there. The girl said by the time she got to the corner to run out the gate, she looked back. Diddy was behind her like this. I'm not saying Diddy can't do it. Only thing I'm saying is I would love to see it. That's all. She might be telling the truth. But for me, right now, top 3, I don't believe fights. That's one. Titties over the balcony, samurai sword, and kicking for Jesus. I don't believe them. I don't believe them 3. But we'll see. A said Puff the Dragon. For real. That's how the fights was. Did y'all listen to the fights? That's what the girl was saying. Girl, y'all, I'm not the only one heard these fights now. Come on now. Bitch, I want to see it. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see it. I got to be there. I need somebody to corroborate at least one of them stories. I got to see it. If I don't see it, I got to put that on the bucket list. I got to see Diddy spin the block. I got to see Diddy spin the block one more time for the one more time like this. Got to see it. If I don't, it's on the bucket list. Now I'm going to do a dedication in August. I'm going down to Turks. This is all in reference to the Diddy trial. So I'm doing my dedication. In my opinion, if I had a bucket list with 100 things on here, one of the things would be Diddy, to see Diddy come up the street like this. I would love to see it. Oh, he definitely gonna pay Jane Doe rent. Oh, girl, yes, honey. He's definitely about to pay her rent. Why? Listen, if you ask me, speaking of Jane Doe, can we talk about it? When it comes down to Jane Doe, let's really be clear about this Jane Doe girl. He's definitely going to pay her rent. And if you ask me, she probably was paid to get on here and act like she was against Diddy and go with the prosecution and really help him in the end. Because Jane Doe is what really flipped this case upside down. I hope y'all know that, right? Because if you guys believe that none of those jurors know anything about what we talking about out here online and they didn't know who Jane Doe was, you a new age fool. It wouldn't surprise me if all of this was a play that Jane Doe and Diddy had put together. This was a scheme that Ty set up. It wouldn't be surprising. Because toward the end, Jane Doe started saying and doing anything. Jane Doe started defending anything. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Arnold Man, sounds like you're defending Diddy, mammy. Sure. Whatever you say, Arnold Man. You thought I was going to get upset? You thought I was going to get mad? You thought that? You thought you was going to get on here and call me a mammy and I was going to get on here and go like this?
Fuck you and your family, bitch!
Don't work over here. That don't work over here. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what you want? Now what? Stupid duck ass. Man, go ahead on, bro. You new here. Welcome to the dollhouse. You knew. The fuck? You're a mammy. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm a mammy. Ah. The fuck? Ugly ass. Shut your stupid ass up. And I know you're ugly. You ain't got no profile picture. Shut up. Anyway, where was I going? With Diddy, yeah. Girl. I would just love to see Diddy doing the kickboxing. I think that's a fair ask. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a fair ask. Ooh, I know what I wanted to tell y'all. We gotta hold off on Diddy right quick. I gotta talk about this. Hold on. I know what I want to come on here and tell y'all. I got a duck goose for y'all. Hold on, because I got me a duck goose for y'all. Hold on. Let me find her. I thought I had one. Oh, I know where it's at. I'm sorry. Sorry. I know where it's at. I had it on the wrong page. I want to show you guys something, and I want to know what your thoughts are about this. So remember yesterday, do I have it? I thought I had it. Let me just Google it. But remember yesterday we were talking about I want to pull it up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to have it up when I start talking. I'm sorry. But y'all remember yesterday we started talking about the situation with Remy Ma and that girl. Did y'all know that girl got arrested? Did y'all know Remy Ma got arrested? Hold on. Did y'all know that she was apparently arrested? I saw a video. It was all over the net yesterday. And I'm like, and this right here is what I am talking about. This right here is what I am talking about. And let's talk about it real quickly off the Diddy. Because remember, we waiting on one. We got 30 minutes waiting on them to see what they're going to do with Diddy anyway. You thought I said yesterday? I didn't see her arrested yesterday. I know that the girl was saying, I'm not going to fight you. Or she was detained. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dante. She was detained, not arrested. But either way, the girl was like, I'm not going to fight you in front of the courthouse. But this is my thing. This is just the honest to God truth, bro. Your son is in jail for unaliving somebody. This is the victim's child. I get it. They're going to clash. They're going to beef. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bump heads. Anybody from Black America who's gone through this know that that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, Remy is older than me. Remy is older than me. Remy should have more maturity and more wisdom than this. Her even thinking about going down there to fight this girl when your son, you and your son in this position is in the wrong, man, even if that girl was antagonizing you, even if that girl was videotaping you, Remy looks stupid as fuck, bro. Remy looked very dumb. She looked so stupid. She too old to be this dumb. Now you in front of the doggone courthouse with your hands behind your back when you over here trying to advocate for your son. And I'm pretty sure in her mind, she believes that her son is innocent. But damn, bro, you can't even hold it together to make sure you here for him. Remy is stupid. She's dumb. Now, she was detained. I didn't hear that she was arrested, but definitely detained. She should be counting her blessings and thanking her lucky stars that they didn't take her black ass to jail. But I knew this was her mindset when she came back and she wrote that doggone word, that whack ass song that say I shot my one homegirl over a stack. So imagine what I'll do about a rack or something. Shut your duck ass up. Remy, you are so lame to me. Any grown ass woman would not be up and down those steps, going back and forth, talking about fighting no little bitch in front of no courthouse. You are so lame. And now I probably understand why your son has gone through some of the things that he's going through. It's when you couple your absence with your ignorance, you a dumbass bitch. This girl's stupid. She's dumb. She don't deserve the freedom that she has because anytime, any place, any second, she'll mind risking it for just a split-second decision. I didn't know Remy was this lame, but she a lame ass nigga. Remy lame, 50, all they lame. A lot of these people that we thought was these great people are really lame AF. Tavina said Remy's son was defending himself. That ain't what I heard. They said that he was a unaliver for hire. They said that they hired him to go unalive somebody. That's what they said. Now, I'm not up in New York, so don't get me the line. I don't be by the lady with the green thing. I don't be by that lady, so don't get me the line. I'm just telling you what the people down here was saying. And they said that it was a unaliving for hire. Now, I don't know. Well, Remy didn't do anything. Her son did. And do you know, not having Remy around probably the most formative years of his life, which is his teenage years, is probably what led him down this path. No, Sean said hire, so she gave Pap all her money, huh? No. So Remy and Pap didn't have anything to do with this. Allegedly, legend has it that it was some dude on the street, some street stuff, and he hired Remy's son to go unalive somebody else. Allegedly, legend has it. But yeah, she is right, B. Nikki. She's too much of a hothead. She's going to get herself in trouble that she can't get out. And this is the worst part. Even if I made them mistakes, because I made a lot of mistakes in my 20s, bro. My 20s was a fucking blur, but I had a great time. I ain't gonna lie, I had a good time. But it was a blur. And I made a lot of mistakes. Things that I did in my 20s, I wouldn't even fathom doing right now in my 40s. And I would have hoped that that would have been the same case for Remy. The fact that you was able to miss your formative years for your son and this is the outcome, I would be terrified that if I missed the formative years for my daughter, that her outcome could be worse. So let me make sure I keep my head on the swivel and keep myself in order so that I can't be taken away from my daughter. Because I see what happened when I was taken away from my son. Let me make sure I'm here for my child so that she don't go down this path on no BS or woo, woo, woo. But none of that matters to Remy because an ignorant mindset don't care about nothing. An ignorant mindset don't care about nothing. And you know what I'm talking about. Anybody ever been in a project or a hood where it's the most project of the project or the hood of a hood? You are around a lot of people, not all the time, but it's a lot of times you go in certain hoods and certain projects and you know it's an era of I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm from a whole city like that. Where 9 times out of 10, the person you bump into already on their last leg. They don't give a fuck about nothing, nigga. Like, it's a hood like that everywhere in America. It's black people like that everywhere in America. And that's what Remy is. That's what Remy is. She don't give a fuck about nothing. Because there's no way you could get me to try to fight you in front of no federal court. Are you insane? No, a court, period. You couldn't even talk to me. I'm not even going back and forth with you in front of no courthouse. Are you dumb, Remy? Are you dumb? I don't even want to talk to you, bitch. Are you insane? Not about to get me taken away from mine. But that's when you're thinking about others, more than yourself. But yeah, Remy a damn fool. She's a dummy. She's a dumb Diddy. Dumb Diddy. She's a dumb Diddy. That's what she is. Stupid. Duck ass. Anyways, so I wanted to share that with y'all. Now, one more thing. Hold on. Because we waiting on the verdict. Y'all keep an eye on the bail thing. Tell me what y'all think about this. B. Simone little sister went got veneers. And she didn't like them. What y'all think? Let's get into it.
Talk, but you guys should be able to understand me. Oh, I hate my teeth. I hate them so bad. They look nothing like my tip veneers. Oh my God. And I moved in 2 weeks, and it was so painful that I'm like, if he has to take them off and do it again, oh my God, it hurts so bad, and I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I go back in the morning for another appointment, and my sister was like, well, you need to tell him that. You need to tell him that you hate it, and they don't look anything like a temporary veneers. But, well, I spent so much money on these veneers. I know it looks so stupid because I can't talk. So, obviously, I'm not going to post on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But I'm about to be so vulnerable on Snapchat. I'm about to show you guys everything because you guys should know. I can barely talk. I spent so much money on these veneers. I know it looks so stupid because I can't talk. So, obviously, I'm not going to post on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But I'm about to be so vulnerable on Snapchat. I'm about to show you guys everything because you guys should know to keep your real teeth. I didn't do this because I should redo it. I can't. Oh my God. And I'm so confused. Like, how do my temporary veneers look way better than this?
Literally so fucked up. I can't even calm down. I'm going to go to sleep or try to just lay down until my husband calls me. I can't even talk. The color, beautiful. I mean, the top is okay. I can deal with the top. But regardless, I'm like, when I think of getting porcelain veneers, I never thought it would look like this. Like, no. And I don't even know what the fuck they're doing tomorrow. Do not record me. Don't take no video of me. No. Fuck that. No. They need to redo it. I can't. Poor. I hate it. And I hate that he's so sweet. His staff, like, a little unprofessional, but I hate that I have to go in there and say something tomorrow because it's gonna hurt to take these off and fix it. There's 2 on the top I don't like, and then like 4 or 6 on the bottom that I hate. I'm just thinking about the pain I had to go through. It hurts so bad. They gave me some medicine in there to take because they could tell I was in so much pain. I'm about to take more right now and wait for Morgan to call. But oh my God, follow my journey because I will keep you guys updated because I'm going back in the morning. I have an appointment at 9 a.m. So I'll tell y'all what the fuck. Poor. I hate it.
So this is her photo. She says literally in panic attack after panic attack. So she's freaked out. She got a veneer. She said she paid a lot of money for them veneers and she hates them. This is B. Simone's little sister. Okay. And here are the picture of the bottom of the veneers. Now, I'm not a dentist, but I'm pretty sure this tooth don't belong right there. I'm pretty positive this one belongs somewhere else. See this one here? Y'all see this one? I'm pretty sure this one don't go right there. Y'all ever played this on Sesame Street? One of these things just doesn't belong here. One of these, 2 of these things are kind of the same. I'm pretty sure that one don't belong there. Now, I don't know. Somebody must have dropped the teats on the floor and he just had to pick them up and get them how he lived. I don't know. But this is the bottom, and this is what the girl showed us. She said the 6 at the bottom she don't like, and it's like 2 at the top she don't like. Okay? But This is the veneers. And then there are more updates. Let's get into another update from B. Simone's little sister and her veneers. She says, my husband has been incarcerated 17 years. Right then and there, I said, there's no sign of intelligence anywhere. B. Simone, little sister, because I stopped right there. B. Simone, little sister, slow as a turtle, just like B. Simone. Both of them hoes slow as sloths. Do you hear me? Say that again. You around here with a rock on your finger, and you mean to tell me that nigga been in jail longer than you been alive? Bitch, you only look 18. What you mean he been in jail 17 years? What? Now you was just on here crying, face looking like a bitch done pop you upside the head like Diddy done kicked you and gave you a Diddy roundhouse, bitch. You're on here crying, talking about you hate your mouth, you can't breathe, you can't sleep, you can't eat. Then you get on here and tell us that your old man coming home after 17 years. Newsflash, young girl. That's that nigga man, okay? Y'all sharing that nigga, okay? 17 years, he don't belong to you. So you done went got these new teats for this nigga coming home from jail. You got your top teeth on the bottom and the bottom teeth on the top. You was just on here crying. Now you on here telling us you waiting on your nigga to come home after 17 years. You a dumbest girl. I see it runs through the bloodline. It's got to be a bloodline situation. It's got to be a bloodline situation going on here. 17 years, y'all. 17. That nigga been locked up. Oh, you crazy as a bird, as a Bessie bug. Then she goes on to say, in a month, I move across the country to be close to him until he comes home. Well, I hope you get your teeth fixed. I hope you get your teeth fixed. I hope you have him put that back tooth to the bike and bring that front tooth where it's supposed to go. I sure hope he could flip your tooths around before that man come home. Let me say this, y'all. I got a gap at the bottom of my teeth. My top tooth, one kind of overlap right here. And I don't like how my bottom teeth, they come up right there. I hate that. I hate that when I talk, you can see the gap at my bottom teeth. Y'all see that? Every time I talk, I hate it. When I be watching back my playbacks, like when y'all look at me, and when I be watching back my playbacks, when I talk, especially when I hold my face up like that, I can see my bottom teeth. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Oh, but I refuse to let them folks shave my shit down and put hubcaps on top of them. Have y'all lost y'all mind? Y'all bitches be 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, go and get a whole mouthful of goddamn dentures. Y'all really is going to let these people shave your teeth down for dentures. I can't believe it. I'm a different type of girl. I'd rather just sit here and hate my gap tooth at the bottom and be flawed out before I let y'all folks shave my teeth down to look like needles and put hubcaps on top. Has anybody asked about the long-term effect of veneers? And I know the new way causes don't cost for them to shave down your teeth. You know that, right? The new way, they don't have to shave down your teeth. They just take the fake teeth and put it right over that raggedy bottom, crusty, gnarled, cavity-ridden tooth. They just put the cap right on top. And y'all be wondering why y'all run across people with them veneers and they breath be smelling like Saint's ass. Because under the veneers, under the hubcaps, the engine light is on. You think I'm lying? Y'all, I'm telling you, if you want to know when you run across people with veneers, why they breath be stinking, because under the hubcap, the engine light is on. Them bitches is on an engine reserve under them hubcaps. That's why they breath be stinking. You think I'm lying? Hold on. Y'all think I'm lying? Hold on. I'm about to show y'all. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all. Watch. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all right quick. Get the likes up on the video, guys, please, and thank you. What's that? Hold on. I did a whole video on this channel. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. It's gonna be worth it. Hold on. It's gonna be worth it. Watch. Y'all think I'm bull? No. Let me show y'all something. This the type of niggas that be coming back, and bitches too. But look at Finesse 2 times. Let him tell you about what happened when he got his veneers. Look.
I ain't brushed my teeth before I got them fixed. Yeah, because I ain't know no better. I ain't know no better before I got my teeth fixed, nigga. I was a street nigga. Fuck brushing my teeth. I wanted some money, nigga. Fuck you talking about. But when I did better, hey, man, quit playing with me, man. You know better, you do better, man. You know, you gotta learn. Yeah, I ain't used to brush my teeth. Fucked up teeth running in my family. So it is what it is. But get what now, though? 250. 250.
Because that's all that matters. 250. It don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's a cemetery under them hubcaps. None of that counts. 250. $250. $250. That's all that matter. I'm gonna run them bike because I want y'all to hear this. These are the type of people gonna let them put them hubcaps on them. Look.
I ain't brushed my teeth before I got them fixed. Yeah, because I ain't know no better. I ain't know no better before I got my teeth fixed, nigga. I was a street nigga. Fuck brushing my teeth. I wanted some money, nigga. Fuck you talking about. But when I did better, hey, man, quit playing with me, man. You know better, you do better, man. You know, you gotta learn. Yeah, I ain't used to brush my teeth. Fucked up teeth running in my family. So it is what it is. But get what now, though? 250. 250. Yeah. 250 on. Yeah. You never see this. Huh? I ain't brushed my teeth.
$250,000 on his teeth. And that nigga Brit smell like a $5 foot long. You can't make this up because that's what it's all about nowadays. It's not about anything. It's solely about what people think. So yeah, he'd rather spend $250,000. Sorry, fixing this light. He'd rather spend $250,000 on veneers, and he won't even brush his teeth. He won't even invest the $250 enough to say, let me at least make sure my teeth are brushed. Woo. None of that. My boy said he ain't never brushed his teeth and fucked up teeth running his family. So there you go. Now, but why is this important? Not everybody, because some people do take care of their mouths, but a lot of people who are going to get these veneers are not taking care of their mouths first. And this is what happens for the people who don't know or don't ask what happens long term after you get veneers. Because remember, once you get these veneers, it ain't no coming back. Not at least from natural ways. Because even if they put the hubcaps on top of your real teeth and don't shave them down, you do know if your real teeth don't receive oxygen and don't receive the things that it needs, brushing, flossing, and all those things, what happens to your teeth? They brittle and they go away. So now you're going to have a mouthful of rotten teeth anyway. Okay? This is what's happening. So be Simone, little sister. Be Simone, little sister with them teats. Get her back on here. She was on here crying. Then right after that, she was over there celebrating her husband coming out of jail for 17 years. Okay? With that being said, y'all can keep being foolish. But I know back in my day, nobody young had fake teeth. As a matter of fact, if somebody found out you had a fake tooth, we made fun of you for that. Now everybody got fake teeth. Everybody. And let me gag y'all up. Most of y'all who get them don't even need them. But y'all just be one of y'all followers though. Not everybody, but a lot of y'all are followers. Most of y'all get the veneers, don't even need them. That's the worst part. But I guess we don't do braces in Invisalign no more, right? That's not options. Everybody want the quick fix. Everybody want to be able to say how much they spent in their mouth or how much they spent here and how much they spent there and get caught up how they get caught up and it be what it be. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And let me say this too, because a lot of girls, I said this about my BBL girls who went save their income tax to go get their BBLs. I said this long time ago to my BBL girls. I said, hey girls, if you're not going to be able to have enough money for the upkeep after this, I probably wouldn't do it. And it's the same thing with veneers. With veneers, because remember, even if you have insurance, that don't cover dental. Dental is a whole nother animal. And anybody who know anything about purchasing dental insurance or having dental insurance that don't come under no corporation or no entity that takes care of you, dental insurance is very freaking expensive. Dental work is extremely expensive. So if you're not taking care of your teeth, but yet you're saving money now to get these veneers, and in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, something happened where you got to pull them bitches out and you can't afford to, or you got to do something and you can't afford to, now you're screwed. So I just hope that people are thinking about that when they get the veneers. This is not a one-time thing. You don't go in and go get it and then go home and you're good for the rest of your life. Same thing with BBLs. With BBLs, a lot of the girls don't know that once you get a BBL, you have to go back. You have to go get round 2 and round 3. And that's why the girls go back. Because if not, it falls. Okay? It's the same thing. So I just hope that these people that are hooked up on these veneers, I just want to be honest with y'all. I think some of y'all look cute, but for the most part, y'all niggas look like piano keys. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all teeth be buku big. But shout out to y'all though. They white. I guess. They white. But y'all teeth be buku big. And we all can see them from way down the street. But y'all be happy y'all got new teeth. So we just be rolling with it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately from the outside looking in, y'all be looking a mess. It look cute on pictures, but in real life, y'all be looking a mess. I'm just be honest. But neither here nor there. Shout out to be Simone little sister. But the elevator didn't go all the way up in the Monota Park because both of them hoes are slow. Do you get it? Let's check back in on Diddy. Let's check back in on Diddy. What's going on with the Diddler? Diddler found not guilty in the Diddy trial. Right now, from what I'm hearing, they're saying that they're coming back at 1 p.m., which is in 14 minutes. And they're going to decide, the prosecution has to argue why Diddy shouldn't be released today. Remember, he was found not guilty on... How many charges was it? We can go back here and listen to. Oh no, that's not this one. Not this one. But Diddy was found not guilty on 3 of 5 charges. However, he was found guilty on 2. 2 of the charges were trafficking charges. That he was found guilty on. And honestly, if I have to be completely honest, it sounds about right. It sounds about right because Diddy is not one of those people who has his hands clean. And he was trafficking, if I could be completely honest, for the most part.
What appears to be more interest. One of them is the day that the podcast discussed Kid Cudi, rapper Kid Cudi taking the stand. That was one of our most highly downloaded episodes. Now, remember, that was a big moment in the case. This was somebody who dated Cassie for a long time, who prosecutors alleged that Diddy was involved in essentially blowing up his car, setting his car on fire, and would have spoken to the RICO charges. But this is also somebody who's a big name. A lot of people, if you know Diddy's music, a lot of people know Kid Cudi as well. And so there was tremendous interest in kind of this, big name coming in, what he had to say about the things that the prosecution alleged happened at Diddy's hand. So that was one of the big things. Of course, there are a number of different elements that go into downloading podcasts, but it certainly speaks to the interest. Another highly downloaded one was Cassie's first day on the stand. As you know, that was the prosecution's star witness. Tremendous interest there as well. Now, I think, of course, for people when you juxtapose the videos of Cassie, when you juxtapose the public persona, a lot of people remember kind of the public side of Diddy and Cassie. A lot of people remember when Cassie's first single, Me and You, came out in 2006. They remember Diddy and Cassie dating for quite some time. But then when you look at the flip side of that, and of course see that shocking video, when you hear the testimony, when you kind of hear the behind the scenes of what happened in that relationship and hold them up side by side with what people saw publicly, that generates a tremendous interest. Laura, I think something that we see a lot here at Dateline is that we're in a time where people have a tremendous interest in court cases, where they know the evidence, they know the witnesses, they are following these trials day after day after day. And that's just with people that you typically haven't even heard of before this case actually went to trial. So when you couple that with the fact that Sean Combs is a massive celebrity, has been a tremendous celebrity for the better part of 3 decades. I mean, he has been a constant presence when it comes to pop culture. You really have this creation of so many people wanting to know more, wanting to know about this trial, and almost kind of reconcile what they know about him publicly with what is coming out in the evidence and what's coming out in trial. We had one viewer who commented and called the podcast an espresso shot of court TV. So somebody who's been following along very closely. So getting that very close interest in the case itself. And then also, of course, with the evidence that's coming out. We're going to have another episode talking about the verdict, but just kind of the conversations and breaking down is something that a lot of people are clearly having an interest in here, Laura.
Well, I know it's been a very handy guide for those of us who are not able to be in court every day. So appreciate you jumping on with us, Blaine, to highlight all the great work. And I know people are going to certainly be listening to the verdict episode. I want to also bring in here executive music editor for Variety, Jem Oswald. Jem, I want to go back to this idea, and Blaine mentioned this a little bit, this idea that, he's almost now going to be viewed as untouchable after something like this, where he has been acquitted of some of the most serious charges that could have put him behind bars for the rest of his natural life. No doubt he's been convicted of some very serious federal crimes, but they are not nearly what he was facing before. Do you think just sort of the public...
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Consciousness around something like this is going to look at this and say, look, if you have enough money, if you have the means, you can hire the best lawyers that money can buy, and you can get off. You can get acquitted for something like this. Or are people going to look at this and say, prosecutors are just way, way overcharged here?
No, I think it's the first thing you said. I think that there is a certain, there's been a veneer of untouchability around him for a long time, for 25 years now, really. And now that is probably doubled. Look at he pumped his fist in the courtroom at in triumph. His family is happy. It's hard to imagine anybody coming after him this hard again, unless they have him on camera doing something even worse than he was caught on camera doing in this.
But you look at someone like R. Kelly, right? You mentioned him a short time ago when we were talking, and it does feel like that case was different. Obviously, prosecutors were more successful there in some ways and were able to get a conviction on very serious charges, not exactly the same, but related. And he has turned into sort of persona non grata.
Well, he's incarcerated, first of all, obviously. But the main thing there is, and I am going to sound very cynical in saying this, R. Kelly's luck ran out when he ran out of money. He couldn't tour anymore. He was releasing records, but a very small audience cared about them. Nobody would touch him. That didn't happen with Diddy. He could still afford the best lawyers. And the reality is that in this country, if it's one lawyer versus another, that really is what the battle comes down to, a lawyer's team.
All right, Jem, appreciate your time here. I want to bring back in Misty because, one of the things that is different than a case like R. Kelly is the difference between adults and minors. The law looks at them differently. And in a case like this, where you had 2 grown women on the stand who obviously had been through a horrific ordeal, if their testimony was to be believed, and some of it was on tape. And obviously it was powerful. Obviously, the jury must have taken that in some way. But do you wonder if we had not been talking about two grown women, the outcome would be different?
Absolutely, because when it comes to minors, there's no element of consent. You only have the force, fraud, or coercion aspect of this. So it would just be whether or not you had that interstate commerce element. When it comes to minors, it's a much different case for prosecutors. And before this case went to trial, many of us with some of these civil lawsuits opined that minors might have been a factor. Yet prosecutors never brought that into the case. So presumably there was no evidence that that was something that Diddy could be charged with. So that it really changes the game when it comes to these other similar cases, specifically R. Kelly, the involvement of minors. But something I do want to point out here, because Cassie Ventura's testimony and Jane's testimony, obviously that was critical to the sex trafficking counts, but it also relates to the transportation to engage in prostitution, because we're not just talking about bringing these male escorts across state lines. We're also talking about Cassie crossing state lines and Jane crossing state lines.
Flying her to Miami.
Exactly.
That's all it really takes.
As I'm thinking about what the prosecutors are going to argue, not only today in their application to keep Combs behind bars, but also when we get to sentencing. This is a federal case, so the federal prosecutors can actually bring in a lot of testimony and make arguments at trial relating to what came out, even when you have some of these acquittals, specifically relating to these prostitution charges, because they relate to Jane, they relate to Cassie. So if I'm the prosecutors, I'm sitting there and I'm crafting an argument that's, all right, there's conceded violence, there is danger. And I think that's what we're going to see in this submission at 1 o'clock, and then forecasting when we get to a sentencing, which is down the road. The defense, on the other hand, is going to say, well, these were isolated relationships. He's no longer in them, right? These were romantic relationships. Clearly, that's the way the jury saw it because of the acquittals on sex trafficking. But I don't want to discount the testimony of Jane and Cassie. Obviously, the jury is the arbiter of credibility. We don't know what they thought about that or their reasoning with these not guilty verdicts. But that testimony will still be part of argument that we're going to hear as this trial, as the sentencing proceeds, and this next very important application about whether or not Diddy is free today.
You have practiced law a long time. In your estimation, if you were to guess, do you think that the judge will release him today?
I do. I really do. And I think that the defense has everything they need to put in this 1 p.m. letter already teed up, written, just needs to print it out. And I say that because they have challenged his incarceration right from the very beginning. They've said that he should be out on bail, he should be out on bond, he should face home detention. A lot of those arguments, although now it's different, he's obviously been convicted of only these sex trafficking transportation to engage in prostitution charges. He's been acquitted on the rest. Not to say they aren't serious, they're still federal crimes, but it's just a different element with that force, fraud, and coercion as far as danger to society now that there's an acquittal. But a lot of those arguments remain the same, Laura, and they were comparing cases that were quite similar when it came to sex trafficking and RICO pre-trial, where there had been released defendants in the Southern District, New York. So I think you're going to see a lot of what was already put on paper before the court in pre-trial proceedings, and it's just going to be a stronger argument now, given the results of this trial.
If the judge decides to release him today, Misty, he can appeal that, right? He appealed his detention on any variety of occasions pre-trial. Remember, he kept trying to get out, and then eventually he just dropped it.
Yes.
But if the judge decides today to keep him behind bars for whatever reason he's persuaded by the prosecutors, can he take that up to the Second Circuit?
Yeah, you're going to see emergency applications on appeal for release. You're going to see briefs going by order to show cause, which is a faster way of getting clarity from the court. You're absolutely going to see that, because unless prosecutors come up with some case, some legal precedent that is on point with this set of facts. And again, I want to reiterate, no matter what we think of Diddy, what we think of Combs from the perspective of the outside, right? We've heard a lot about things he's done in civil lawsuits. We've heard a lot about him and what he's done to individuals through the testimony and through other, just in the public sphere. He's a first-time offender from a legal perspective. This is his first conviction. And so that's something that's going to be a factor when the judge makes this determination. And I stand by, that danger to society, that's an element the court looks at. These are the critical elements when releasing an individual. That's an argument that is watered down at this point, unless there's something we don't know, given the results of this trial, what the jury has found. But when it comes to a flight risk, that's where I think prosecutors may have more leeway given the resources that he has. Now, there may be a home detention element. There may be something else that the defense will offer.
The defense is conceding that. Defense is basically saying, we'll give you whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
But
Take
get
him
him out of the MDC, right?
Right.
The judge is saying to him, do you want to get out of the MDC today? And he's saying, obviously, yes. And people know that is an infamous, terrible place to be. Nobody wants to be there if they can avoid it. And so his position is he does not want to go to the MDC tonight if he can avoid it and he can get out today. And I would imagine would be willing to put up as much as he can to fight that.
Absolutely. And again, the defense has.
What y'all thinking so far? What are you guys thinking so far? As far as what these people are talking about, the bail and all that stuff, they're saying that he could be out within, and we're going to switch over to this live coverage. But they're saying that he can be out by today, that they see him being out by today. You know what I mean? So you never know. You know what I'm saying? We over here at Law and Crime gonna watch them. This is the live coverage of the actual courthouse and what's going on outside and inside the courthouse. A lot of people were saying that they feel a way that Sean's kids or Puff's kids was there at the trial. I know personally, I would have a era or a veer of shame that I wouldn't be able to look my daughter in the face. But if you got your kids thinking that it's all lies, then I guess you'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they had to even sit in there, especially his girls, and listen to that was kind of, you know what I mean? So we watching the live trial to see what's going on and if Diddy's going to come home today. Now, a lot of people might feel some type of way about it. A lot of people might feel like, oh, he don't deserve to come home. And I understand either side. But at the end of the day, we just got to, I feel like we need to worry about how we're going to move forward with this trafficking stuff that they just set precedent for. You know?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and welcome back to our continued live coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Big day here today in the Southern District of New York in the federal courthouse out in downtown New York. A verdict has been reached. We've been reporting about it all morning. A verdict has been reached in the case. Sean Combs acquitted of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion for both Cassie Ventura Fine and Jane. But ultimately, he has been convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution, the Mann Act violations. And today you would think that would be the end of the day. It is certainly not. Why? The judge has to determine whether or not Sean Combs should make bail, whether or not he should be released, whether or not, and we have a live shot of the courthouse, whether or not we will see him walk out of that courthouse later today. Right now, both sides are submitting paperwork to the court. We're keeping a very careful eye on the courtroom updates to see what that decision will be, because the judge is going to decide. And what the basis was for Sean Combs to be locked up during the whole course of this criminal process, it is very different now. It is very different now because he's not facing those top charges, those violent charges, those charges that could have sent him to prison for the rest of his life. And one of the other big considerations we have when we talk about transportation to engage in prostitution, the charges that he was convicted of, is what will be his sentence. While there are maximums of 10 years in prison on each charge, and although the prosecution has said that he could face up to 20 years if they stack them one after the other, it seems highly unlikely given a number of mitigating factors in this case, but there's also aggravating factors, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But we're going to take your questions as we are live on air, and we update you about what is happening. But I also have with us a very special series of guests. So we have an all-star panel. We got with us Ben Shue, acclaimed litigator, famously represented Johnny Depp in his high-profile trial against Amber Heard. We also have with us criminal defense attorney and civil rights attorney Tyler Bailey. We have with us Sierra Gillespie and Elizabeth Milner out in the field. We'll get to them. But right now, we are also joined by Sheree Hayes. Now, for anybody who's been following this case, you will know who Mr. Hayes is, also referred to as the Punisher during the course of this case. Mr. Hayes, who's also, by the way, the author of In Search of Freezer Meat. We can talk more about that.
The Punisher been all over, huh? Shout out to the Punisher, bro. The Punisher said, man, y'all done bought me up. I done had to go testify. Now people outside, they know me. I'm going to capitalize off this. The Punisher been everywhere. Shout out to the Punisher, bro. Shout out to him In Search of Freezer Meat. And the Punisher. I like him. He said, I'm about to get my coin, as you should. He gonna get his coin, as he should.
Hayes had testified during the course of this trial about his involvement in 8 to 12 sexual encounters that he had with Cassie Ventura Fine and Sean Combs. Testified that Combs watched and gave directions during these events. You played a pivotal role in this case, Mr. Hayes. It's great to see you. Thanks for taking the time. Your reaction to the verdict?
I honestly thought the verdict was the correct decision. It may be not based on following the specifics of the law, because I know the prosecutor said you only had to find one instance where you believe there's coercion. But if you're talking about a jury and the understanding that this was relationships, these were his partners, these were, they were exchanged text messages of love and care and over long periods of time. And then also a bunch of consenting also messages to the sexual activity and the type of lifestyle they lived. I thought it was going to be hard for a typical person that wasn't going to really streamline the law, extremely hypervigilant, to not see this as a relationship domestic issue opposed to sex trafficking. So this is actually what I expected.
To be clear, in any of your encounters, did you see any force, fraud, coercion being used to induce Cassie to engage in these sex acts?
Yeah, it's similar to my testimony. I did not. And so what I will even add is, I testified in the facts where I only interacted and spoke to Cassie during any of these occasions. I never had any communication with Mr. Combs. So I would be greeted in a personable one-on-one situation prior to the activities, and then again at the conclusion. And I always found good vibes, good energies. Hey, thanks for coming. It was great. We'll see you again. Here you go. And I did not even witness anything that appeared to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs or anything. So I did find it difficult to see my interaction being anything close to criminal.
And for me, I can't speak about nobody else. For me, that's very damning and very telling. This man is saying that he's had multiple interactions with Sean and Cassie. He said he's never seen anything out of the ordinary. She's never appeared to be under any type of stress, duress, drugs, or nothing. It seemed to him that this is what they do. He will come over there, do what he got to do. They pay him. He go home. He spoke to Cassie. As a matter of fact, he said Cassie even hit him up one time. She wasn't even around Diddy. Was it him or was it the other guy? It was another worker that she was hitting them fools up when he wasn't even around. That's not Stockholm Syndrome to me. It seems to me, oh, and by the way, Cassie was also doing freak offs with her friend. Remember her friend? The one who was doing the drugs with her, who Diddy didn't like? They was doing freak offs too. Like, his testimony to me was more important or more damning to me than all the other ones, because he was there. He's in the freak off. He's in the freak off. So he would know. I'm just saying, he's in the freak off.
I want to tell you what's happening outside the courthouse. CNN is reporting that people are quite excited. There are people who are gathered. They are spraying baby oil into the crowd. There are remnants of oil that could be seen on the courthouse pavement. We were reporting earlier on today that there was a verbal dispute between supporters of Sean Combs, or at least supporters of his case, and those who feel differently. When you're seeing a reaction like that outside of the courthouse, you playing a role in this case, what's your position on it? What is your view on it?
So what I think is there's a benefit of the misinformation. You know, me as a civilian, even before I was involved, before I became a witness, the social understanding of this case, they made it so much bigger than what it was. You had rumors of child trafficking. You had all of this bribery and celebrities involved and all of this crazy stuff that escalated to this belief that you was going to get this magnitude of just terrible acts, and not downplaying the domestic violence part of it. But I think when the actual facts of the case became evident, I think people's expectation and their belief that it was going to be so much more, it actually minimized the victims' experiences. So now where there are still people that are victimized, regardless of the verdict, there's still bad experiences. People almost see it as a celebratory, simple scenario because everybody thought it was going to be so much worse than what it was, including myself.
Do you think,
listening to the banter?
Do you think that your testimony helped secure the conviction for transportation to engage in prostitution? Because let's be clear, the two charges that he was convicted of, one was with respect to Cassie, and the other was with respect to Jane. Do you think your testimony helped secure the conviction against Sean Combs?
No, not at all. Not my testimony, because I was clear that my dealings with them was, I'm from New York City at the time, and I only dealt with them in a New York City area. And me being hired in the initial communications was as a male dancer. We always show up on our own. But I did hear in the testimony, there was evidence of plane tickets and stuff being purchased on his American Express card for some of the other escorts. So I'm assuming that secured the conviction for those charges.
Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned to you before we were coming on, we have amazing viewers who submit incredible questions. And I have a bunch of them that a lot of people have questions for you, Mr. Hayes. So let's get right into it. All right, first question. We got a question from Jackie Reed. Did you have any direct dealings with Christina Coram or any other person other than Diddy that helped set up his freak-offs?
Actually, no. And actually, I didn't have any direct dealings with Diddy. All of my communications were specifically with Miss Ventura and Miss Ventura only. There was no conversation, no communication, no anything with Mr. Combs. And I said this before, the first time I actually even had eye contact him, for the first time, eye contact was leaving the stand after my testimony. I had zero interactions with Mr. Combs.
And by the way, I'm just going to let you know, I'm not like tweaking these questions. These are the ones that are coming in. So I'm just going to read them to you. This is from an account, Smarty Pants. Thank you so much for the super chat question. Do you think Diddy was cheap with you?
Well, listen, if I'm being honest, when I hear some of the other guys getting $5,000, $6,000, obviously that would be the first thing you think. But then I don't know the scenario. I was never there more than 4 hours at a time on the average. And one thing that I will say is I came multiple days in a row. So I don't know what the criteria was to determine what my fee would be, but I was fine with it. I don't have any reservations as if I was not fairly compensated,
We've got a question. Where is this? Okay. Show and Tell Knitting asks, how will the results of this trial affect your interactions with clients like Diddy? Will you do anything differently in the future?
As far as I'm concerned, I would not do anything differently. That was a nuanced situation for me. Obviously, I'm a male dancer. My trade on a regular basis is not sex work to that degree. That was a proposition I indulged in. So I don't really see much.
Wait, I want y'all to see this. I don't know what's going on over here, but I want y'all to see this.
Yo, Justin!
Oh my God. I know. She been out here all the time saying some wild shit. She said, you can beat the shit out of me.
Starting to become a lot of people out there.
It looks like Diddy's family. Hold on, let me mute this so y'all can hear me. It looks like that was part of Diddy's family and team getting out, going into the courthouse. This is the chaos and mayhem outside of the courthouse right now. The people are losing their minds. As you heard the lady talking about, I want somebody to pee on me and all types of stuff to his kids. Very, very weird, okay? It is chaos outside the courthouse. The people is losing their minds, okay? That was Misa with Justin, yeah. So this is what's going on. I want y'all to see that because they about to tell us what's tea. Somebody say a typical day in New York. Look at all them people out there just waiting. And you got to look at it too. People are coming from all over the world to get these photos and to get this journalism and all this stuff because people are going to make a lot of money. Shout out to everybody at the Diddy trial. I sure hope you guys know that. Them folks that went down there to the Diddy trial, they spent some money, but they made a lot of money. As a content creator, tens of thousands total throughout the trial. Easy peasy. Okay? So shout out to the content creators because they did very, very well. And if you have one of them huge platforms like Tisa Tales and all them, you do the math, okay? They made very, very good money. Diddy done fed a lot of niggas. Diddy ain't feed this many niggas when he was in the game. You feel what I'm saying? Diddy ain't feed this many niggas when he was running Bad Boy. But now look at God. God done made it so where Diddy done fed a whole bunch of niggas who ain't never had nothing. Shout out. Look at, see how he don't come when you want him. What? But he always on time, huh? All them niggas making all that money. Make them money, girl. Go ahead on. It's gonna be crazy. Y'all be sleeping. Hey, y'all be sleeping on how much content creators make. Do y'all know a content creator can make most people's salary in 2 months? A Tasha K can make the average person's salary in a month. An annual salary. Tasha K makes more than the average person in 1 month. And that's Tasha K. But we can just bring it down even further. Armand Wiggins probably makes more than the average person makes in a year in probably 2 months. So these people going out here wigging out, I understand. If you a bag chaser, I get it because it's a bag to get. It's a big bag to get. I get it. But I'm just saying, people be underestimating how well good content creators do. Not all, but good content creators. People underestimate that, in my opinion. That's right.
Get my number out. Oh no, man. Strictly professional. Yo, man.
Let me see what the other people saying. I'm just going back and forth looking at live updates. Everybody else, they saying it's 13 minutes. Hold on. So because I'm just going back and forth to people who out there live or people who's out there with live coverage. And even when I come back here, if y'all can see this, it seems like there's a 13-minute timer. I don't know if that's for the channel or if that's for the verdict. I don't know what that means. And it's not even on. So I don't know. But it doesn't look like anything is happening as of yet. Right now, the people are outside. Remember, they still have to argue the bail, and a decision still has to be made, okay? So don't forget that. Y'all get the likes up on the video, please, 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 please. Get the likes up on the video. Let me bring y'all back to, I guess, what it looks like to be something. I don't know what's going on over here.
We laughed about it, and he walked out of here like, homeboy don't leave. Right there, he don't leave from inside. He sits down. Yeah, yo, what's up with that?
All your stuff. You and my man Will. Y'all cooking up something. Will got something cooking up real good. Right. Will. My guy. You on that lawyer to this. You can't work with this guy. It's gonna be easy. I'm trying to tell you. But for real, you heard me until I last show. That's what I got. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing out here now. Yeah. I got the what you call it now. I'm doing Spider-Man now. Oh man. Spider-Man what? Spider-Man. Where you go?
I didn't know.
All right, we turn the volume down some. Big case coming out of Idaho right now. Brian Kohlberger. And he's facing the judge right now. And as you see on the bottom of the screen, we're just monitoring that situation while we wait on Diddy. The judge in that case is saying there has been a massive amount of email.
That's a whole nother case. What was I about to say? I didn't know academics had another YouTube channel called The Academy. Did y'all know that? I didn't know. I had no clue. But he watching the trial too. Act got the trial up. He watching the trial. I didn't know that was him. The Academy. That's dope. I didn't know he had that extra page.
Jokes, a lot of unnecessary jokes.
Oh, he watching the same thing we watching with Law and Crime. Yeah, I didn't know that academics had another page. The original queen is live in New York. Let me see. We just here watching, y'all. What is this case? I saw this somewhere. Let me go back. Y'all get the likes up. How are you guys feeling? Are y'all seeing and feeling like Diddy should stay in jail for a longer period of time? Like, what's T? What's this Fox? What's this? Yeah, it looks like everybody's still just kind of like outside waiting, kind of. That's what it seems like. Everybody's still outside waiting. So we're waiting. Can anybody tell me this? Has the attorneys walked in yet? Like, are they inside figuring it out now, or are they still gathering themselves together? Go to Armand. Let me see what Armand doing, because I think I'm confused to what is actually happening now. It seems like everybody's just waiting. Let me go see if Armand. I don't know if Armand is live. Is he? I didn't see him live, but I do see some chaos broke out. Let's go see what happened, girl. What happened, Armand?
But they hadn't been here the entire case to support Diddy. So there's a man yelling and saying, why is all these family members and friends coming now? But you guys were not here the entire time that he was facing these federal charges.
I am pretty positive time served will come into play. Somebody asked, will they consider time served? I'm pretty positive. I can almost bet that they will, because he has been in since before the election, so a little time of last year. So I'm pretty sure he will get credit for whatever that time served, okay? For whoever was asking that.
I don't know. I don't even know who this is.
I would not want to be out there. There's just too much going on. I feel uncomfortable watching.
They're yelling at him right now. Let me go see what's going on. I'm trying to get with him. They're yelling at him.
Yeah, man, you missed it.
Why were you yelling at him?
Nobody.
Why were you yelling at him?
Because he ain't nobody. That's why. He come at the last hour. He come at the last hour. He come at the last hour.
So you
I don't give
so
a
let me
damn.
get this.
He came
So
at
you
the
were
last
upset.
hour.
So you were upset that you feel like a lot of people didn't come to support him. You,
I don't want to hear goodbye.
Nobody. He's upset because he feels like people have not came to support until they got the not guilty on the biggest charge of the case.
And let me
So
be clear.
where was the support where you thought?
And I know that man ain't lying. And I know that man ain't lying. People are fake AF. Okay? I know that man ain't lying. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of MFers who was waiting to see how this was going to go, hiding behind the side. I don't want to support and come out and say I'm in support, but I'm going to hide back here. And as soon as that verdict came back not guilty, here they come. You got to know that. You got to know that. This is people. I don't care who they are. I don't care who you are. This is how people are. People are so fake. And if I was Diddy, I wouldn't want to be cool with nobody. I wouldn't want to kick it with nobody. You hear me? He ain't lying when he's saying he felt some type of way about them just pulling up like that.
He was going down. Where were you guys at? And so he's upset about that.
They fake. These fake motherfuckers. Come on, let's be real, man. I'm upset because no entertainers came.
Yeah.
So this guy, I don't know, maybe he's a star or something like that, but he come at the last hour. Come on, that's no decor. The decor would have been 8 weeks ago, every day. You know what I'm saying? When you support your brother, you here for support every day. You know what I'm saying? I go down, we go down together. You dig? You don't come at the last hour and make a face. Get out of here. Wow.
Honeybook actually is our third employee. Honeybook Automation.
What y'all think? He's right.
Woo, I got enough. It's going down. It's going down. You hear me? It's going down. My God. All right, I need to catch my breath for a little bit, child. I'm walking, I'm running. It's going down today.
Girl, that sounds like a lot going on out there. I ain't even gonna hold you. That sounds like a lot going on at one time. Oh.
So it's a lot of moving parts. They called NYPD. What happened over there? What happened over there? Let me call Ask Lovely T. What happened? They called the police? What happened over there? Girl, she on the phone. Well, hold on. Let me see what happened. What happened? Hi, how are you? So what did I miss? They called the police over here? Something happened over here?
Oh, Ratchet TV said you're a liar. I got it. Want to hear? I have a video.
Well, I was here for all of that.
Wait! That clear woman over there being mad, she said Ratchet TV said you a liar. Why that clear woman being messy like that?
They called the police over
Wait,
here?
what?
Something happened over here?
Oh, Ratchet TV said you're a liar. I got it. Want to hear? I have a video.
Well, I was here for all of that.
Ratchet TV said you a liar. I have it on video. Would you like to see it? Girl, see how messy them clears be? Mm-hmm.
She said he's a girl. She said he's a dusty guy looking for clips. Diddy doesn't even know his name, and she said, "You lied. You said you had inside information." And he said, "Bad boy for life." She said, "You think you're in bad boy?" And she was going. She started dancing. Actually, just watch the video. It's really funny.
Oh my God!
Look at the video.
It's a lot of mayhem.
It's
and
very
shit.
meta because everyone was live. So,
I'll watch that later.
no, but she started dancing.
I don't care about that. I'll watch that. It's not conducive to what I have going on right now.
She being messy.
I'll watch that bullshit later.
Very nice messy.
Yes. So we are here.
Is that the clear girl Emily who be with Lovely T? Because I keep saying y'all saying that's Emily. Is that the clear girl who be by Lovely T over there? Or they used to be around now? I'm trying to see something. Y'all help me out now.
So
Okay, that is her. They saying yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Superstar.
How are you? That's Brian with TMZ. He films all the documentaries. Oh, y'all want to see it? Okay, y'all want to see the damn video? Okay, hold on. Yes, you guys know what I'm. Listen, I didn't say it. They did.
Okay, so now I have another question. The Emily that came on our Mind platform saying that she is a Ye connoisseur, a Kanye freak, is that the same Emily who was over there at Lovely T platform too? Or is this a bunch of clear Emilys running around on YouTube? I'm just trying to see something. I just want to make sure I'm putting these people in their rightful places.
Hey, boo. How are you? Wow, we're finally free. How do you?
Listen, okay, 1 second. This is actually, I'm on the phone with Pixel 11's news desk, News Nation's news desk.
Okay.
This has been months and months and months of covering this. Since the bail hearings over at 40.
Tamara said, Lovely T has a clear. Why you saying it like that? Like it's an animal. Lovely T got a clear. Black people are so unserious, bro. Nigga said, Lovely T has a clear. Yeah, she got one. She got her clear. Yes, she does.
Holy Square to now over here for 8 weeks. It's done.
It's done.
It is done. You've been here every day in that courtroom. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of my mind.
Thank you.
With News Nation, we've been covering this nonstop, and whatever you wanted the verdict to be.
Okay, Zaria said that's not her.
That he was able to still see his family. The family was there. He did a prayer, and I know you probably
Yeah.
saw that, yes, which was a moving moment inside of that courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we
All
made
right.
it. We made it to this point.
We made it to the end. Now it's time for drinks.
Yes.
Armand ain't stunning them folks.
Ah, what a day.
If I could be honest, Armand ain't stunning and read none of them content creators out there. Maybe one or two, but for the most part, Armand ain't stunning them folks. As you can see, Armand is the type of person as he should. He move in and he move out. He dip in, what's up? Dip out, what's up? Woo, 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 woo. They say it's two different Emilys, but Armand ain't rubbing shoulders like that as he shouldn't. I don't blame him.
Child, I'm just here being messy and mumbling and cackling. Why? Why do I make you laugh? I'm just over here mumbling and cackling. Listen, baby, when you do what you do, you come. You know.
Look,
Listen.
you don't need security, right?
No, it's not about security. It's just I didn't have a dog in the fight.
Right.
And so I can just get around and just, I feel good about whatever.
Right.
I know you were upset.
What was I upset about? What was I upset about?
Wait, I missed something. What I miss? Rewind, because I had to get up right quick. What I miss?
Why? Why do I make you laugh? I'm just over here mumbling and cackling. Listen, baby, when you do what you do, you come,
Look,
listen.
Armand.
You don't need security, right?
No, it's not about security.
I caught on to Armand. That's when the nigga don't really know you, but he trying to give you a compliment. He don't really watch you, but he just trying to give you a compliment. You know, see, listen, Neek, listen, you don't understand because you got it. When you do what you be doing, that's when somebody want to give you a compliment, but they don't watch you. They don't know what you really over there doing. You see what I'm saying? No shade. This is no shade. I'm just in my Armand words. This is no shade. But see, girl, Neek, you over there doing what you doing? Yeah. I'm messy, y'all. I be picking up on stuff like that. I do.
It's just, I didn't have a dog in the fight.
Right.
And so I can just get around and just, you know, I feel good about whatever.
Right.
I know you were upset.
What was I upset about? What was I upset about, Armand?
You were a Diddy pro-prosecution the entire time. You had the exclusive.
And I was shout out to Neek. Not only that, Neek was very pro-Meg too during the Tory Lanez and the Meg trial. Because I watched Neek's coverage of the Megan Thee Stallion trial. Neek did a big one on that one. She was pro-Meg during that trial. I remember because I wasn't. That's how I know. I remember. She was very much pro-Meg. And she's definitely pro-Diddy. Or not pro-Diddy. She's pro-lock Diddy up.
If we're gonna say I was pro anything,
I was pro Cassie. Me too.
That was the only thing I was pro about. I wasn't pro Jane. I wasn't pro.
Oh, they said she swore she knew.
I swore I did know that he was gonna get found guilty of some things.
Oh, okay.
And he did. Did he not?
He did.
Did he not get guilty of something?
They said that you feel like you knew that he was going to get the RICO.
I never. There's literally nobody in YouTube, social media can find a single video that I ever said he was going to be found guilty of RICO. I literally never said that. I recorded a video with the Shade Room last week, and I said that I don't know about the RICO. I literally never, ever said that he was going to be found guilty. And if they can find a video of me saying that he was going to be found guilty of that charge, I might send them a couple of coins because they're lying like they need some money.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here. If you guys missed the first video, make sure you guys go watch the first one because that's where all the fireworks were. From this point forward, I'm going to do some pre-recorded ones. So make sure you guys go watch the first video because that's where all the fireworks.
I'm still keeping an eye on the court, you guys. I still have that up as well. It's just kind of hanging in the balance right now, if y'all can see. Just so y'all can know we still keeping an eye on what's really tea. It's just nothing has happened yet. So just so y'all can see, we still over here. It's just while we waiting, we might as well come over here and be messy about the girls on the YouTube streets, okay? Yeah. So just so y'all know, we keeping an eye on here. Whoever out here, y'all keep y'all eyes out, and we gonna go with the move, okay? Now I want to go to his. He said we gotta go to part 1 of that video because that's where all the mess. What was going on out there at this trial? Like, what is going on? Are the girls fighting? Like, let me see. I didn't get to watch Armand last night neither because kind of like the trial is over. We're just kind of waiting, you know? Let me see.
Hey.
But guess what?
I'll tell you this. Diddy's family is happy. The daughter looked back. She was smiling and laughing. He was laughing, so we're going to wait to try to get them out of here and see what's going on. But, you know, he's definitely going to still do some time for the transportation of prostitution. But, no.
And
RICO.
also, too.
Okay, you can't.
A lot of people are trolling content creators like, oh, you said Diddy was going to jail, and some of them did and some of them didn't. Some people just trolling. You know, it's the comments. That's how I go. It's the comments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of them were like Tisa. Tisa was one of those that were really pro lock him up for sure, and her followers. And honestly, I think that's what was kind of crazy to me when I was watching Tisa coverage. It was very much one-sided toward the Diddy side, or toward the side that's against Diddy. I'm sorry. And I found that to be interesting. And I'm like, so everybody over here must want Diddy to go to jail, because that's kind of where her content was geared toward. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure people like her are feeling like a weirdo, or feeling like they got egg on their face after the trial.
Right? So the judge can show in favor and maybe sentence him to 2
4 to
years
7.
apiece, running concurrently.
Yeah.
He got year time served. He'll be out in a few months.
He'll be out in a little while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, I love you.
He'll be out in a few months.
I love you.
It's crazy. I'm just out here to get the news. I'm just going to get the tea for you. So, child, we gonna see. The girls were saying it was over. I was like, child, it could be over. I knew we were getting a guilty verdict on the transportation prostitution for sure. I knew we was getting that.
On.
The racketeering, I'm like,
we might have a little action. Hold on, we might have a little action. Y'all come over here with it. Who this is?
How you feel?
I'm so happy.
Just smiling. Yes. Yes.
Hi, girl. How you feeling?
I love it. I love it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
This sounds crazier than it looks. I'm in the background playing All About the Benjamins. I know that's somebody black. I could feel it. It's some nigga done pulled up in his car and blasted his music All About the Benjamins. I know it. I thought I saw something over here, y'all. I thought it seemed like another van had pulled up or something, but maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. All right, while we wait, let me see if I could we can go back to Armand. I want to see something really quickly.
Somebody said I've been hating. Child, I think you got the wrong one, boo. I said how I feel. I still feel like the trafficking, but you threw Jane Doe in the mix. Child, she fucked it up. I didn't take it personal, so I don't feel away. Y'all would never say I was on here yelling at my camera like I just had it all. There was times where I told you I didn't know what it was gonna say. So, bitch, you a lie. You ain't never saw me saying that I just knew what it was gonna be. But you're a lie. You must got me confused with another channel. Don't play with me, because I never gave that. We laughed and keyed at the baby oil over here. I gave y'all my opinion last night, but don't play me. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. Because, girl, y'all want to throw this on me because I told y'all last night I feel like he did it. I still feel like he did it. But I did, like I told y'all, we was not getting no record. Had they not put Jane Doe in the mix, but they had to. They had to. Let me get Lovely T. Okay, so what we got 2 transportation for prostitution. No RICO. We knew, we knew that.
Armand's here.
Hey, we're in the building. They talking about I've been hated. Girl, no, I have not been hating this. They talking about I've been hating this entire trial. Yes, I have. Girl, they want us all to be like, hey.
I'm proud of you. You've been doing your thing. You're the OG. You was down here first and foremost.
Absolutely. Ooh, tell it. Say that again. Okay, let's be very clear on that.
He was gonna be guilty of something, right? There was too many receipts for him not to be guilty of anything. But again, this is going to set a precedence because you got too many people in the industry who think they can abuse men and women, who think they can treat them like sexual objects and discard them. And now, you know, this is showing there's going to be consequences. You can't just act any type of way. You can't hold record deals over people's heads and then pimp them out.
Mm.
So, you know.
And that hair looks good. All right, I'll let you do your thing.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy.
So we got Lovely T outside. She just came to the trial. She just got there I want to say maybe a week or so ago. Because before Lovely T wasn't out there, but she just got there.
Yeah. So the verdict is RICO, not guilty. Sex trafficking, not guilty for Cassie. Sex trafficking, Jane Doe, not guilty. Transportation for prostitution, guilty. Jane Doe. Transportation for prostitution, guilty Cassie. I just want to let y'all know this. I did not take it personal in this case, so I don't feel away. People talking about you too happy. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I wasn't flaring my ego out, trying to tell y'all that I knew what it was going to be. Remember, we were laughing and reenacting this whole trial. So when the shit comes out, don't get up in here and make it seem like I was one way or another. Because one day I was for the defense, one day I was for the prosecution. And I just told you I felt like at times he did it, but Jane Doe threw the case for the sex trafficking for me. We already knew that he was not getting on the RICO. It was too muddy and buried under the baby oil. But I told you 100% I did know that he was going down for the transportation of prostitution. But don't get up on your platforms and make it seem like I was saying that I just knew that Diddy was going down, because I never said that.
If people are saying that to you in your comments.
Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, you knew that you were. I didn't even have that energy.
Yeah, one thing people need to understand is nobody can predict what the jury is thinking. We can just go off of our point of view, and you never know what points they're making in the jury room as a group of them all together. There's 12 people that have to come to a decision, and just because the decision was one way or another, that doesn't mean that everybody was on the same accord. Some people, and they're not supposed to, some people say, you know what, F it, I'm gonna just go with the majority.
But I still think he was guilty for sex trafficking, though. I do. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Right. When it comes to Cassie,
Cassie for sure.
Yeah, and she was in. Let me talk to you real quick. So yesterday, she was in the courtroom freaking out. She was in the courtroom, and she was like, "Is it a verdict? Is it a verdict?"
Yeah, let's do the picture.
Thank you. You're the best.
Hey.
Get in here,
come on,
Francis.
more oil. Uh-oh. Come on, Francis. Let's do it.
Oh.
Hey.
Cute.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, what do you guys feel about the verdict?
Oh, wait, I can't hear. Disappointed.
Okay. Oh, you're disappointed. But do you feel that Jane Doe was a lot of the reason why they weren't able to find it?
They didn't like her.
The family's still here? Well, Jane Doe, I don't know. Jane Doe threw the case at the end. I don't know if you guys have been here from the beginning, but she threw the case for the prosecution at the end. So, and so I feel like they could have got Cassie, for the trafficking, but Jane Doe, it just didn't work.
Y'all, this one I gotta get off because I gotta go run an errand. I gotta go get my nail fixed. I gotta go. I'm sorry, because I still gotta do Basketball Wives tonight. So this is what I'm gonna do. When I'm out, if the trial verdict come back, I'm gonna just go live. I won't be on camera because I gotta go get my nails done. But if it does come back, I'm gonna have to go live from my phone. But I gotta go get my nail done because I got, it's the holiday week. Whoop de whoop. So I gotta come back, y'all. But I promise y'all, if I hear about this trial, Miss Parker gonna call me and she gonna say, "Girl, they got a verdict." We gonna be right back here, right back live. Okay. I promise y'all, I just can't go a little bit longer because if I go longer, I came live really thinking I was gonna be able to get off earlier, go get my nail fixed, and then come back. But now that we know that this is going off like this, I'm going to have to come back and catch y'all on the second round. So this is what I'm gonna do, Miss Parker. You got my number. Y'all keep me posted if you can on this Diddy stuff, and we're going to come back. But I got to go get my nail fixed. If I have to come back from my phone, I have no issues doing that. I will come back and go live from the phone, and we will Joce this verdict together, okay? Shout out to everybody in the building. Anybody who sent me a super chat. If I missed your super chat, I am extremely sorry. I think I read that. Brit, thank you for becoming a member. I read that. Sharjay, thank you for the super chat. Like our elders, first time, shame on them. Second time, shame on you. Be aware of your choices. and environment. Do better. Facts. Seriously, we got to start being able to protect ourselves. Because if not, we're going to be in a world of trouble. Pure Joy, thank you for the super chat. Gene, a good dude. He did everything he said he did. I know him personally from 112th Street. Gene wasn't around in the Cassie era. He was there with Kim Porter. I do remember that. Yeah, he wasn't there for Cassie. That was more of Roger Bonds and them. He was there for the Kim Porter era. You're right. Race Woods, thank you for the super chat. This came after Diddy had issues with the liquor company. And that's what makes me believe that this lawsuit is bigger than Cassie. Cassie, I believe, and I said this from the beginning, Cassie was the catalyst used to sue Diddy. But this is bigger than Cassie. Cassie is just a pawn in this game, if you ask me. Tina Sanders, thank you for the super chat. That sounds like a scene from the past, the Cavassier video. Shh, child. Oh, they say life imitates art or art imitates life, right? Kide, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Hey boo, on the way. Armand demonstrated the kick with the robe open. I was weak. Yes, girl. Armand's coverage was top tier. Period. Second to none. Armand's coverage was bar none, second to none. Period. Point blank. And it's not up for discussion. He did an amazing job. Dimple Pop, thank you for the super chat. Why do y'all keep getting these operations? Y'all fault. Oh, you talking about the teats? Y'all got to leave them teats alone now. Miss Kelly J, thank you for the super chat. My mom said you are funny. She turned 74 on Sunday, 6/29. Happy birthday, mama, and thank you. Happy birthday. Tell Mama Kelly I said happy birthday and thank you. Thank you again. What for another super chat? What happened to the 90s ladies? Back then, women was natural and they were beautiful. I hate how society portrays us to look like, but meanwhile, women hurting themselves left and right. Shake my head, hashtag do better. You are absolutely right. You know, at one point, the prettiest girls didn't wear no makeup. When I was in high school, actually, to wear makeup, people thought you were crazy. But the prettiest girls didn't wear no weave, and the prettiest girls didn't wear no makeup. They didn't do no enhancement on the brows, no none of that. The prettiest girls was the girls who walked outside and was just pretty. We don't live in that time no more. We the people, thank you for the super chat. Child to crackhead with money. Makes sense. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, live your dreams. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, boo, I'm happy. Brother Love going home partially, at least. Outside of him bopping Cassie, the rest was bull crap. Bunch of grown adults doing their thing, and it's not crime. Hashtag man free Diddy. Yeah, it is a bunch of consenting adults. Like I said, I am for Diddy going to jail and being held accountable, just in the right way. That's it. That's it. Pure Joy, thank you for the super chat. First of all, that was playing Bad Boy for Life this morning, not Armand. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Miss Deborah, thank you for the super chat. Boo is doing her big one too. Thank you. You ain't have to do that. Thank you so much, Miss Deborah. Camille, thank you for the super chat. Every time I watch Nick at night, I have to speed up the video because she talks. And with that being said, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Shout out to everybody in the building. Catch y'all on the... I'm going to see y'all when we come back with a verdict. Bye, y'all.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat. You know what I want? Blaze up. Come on, Blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wah, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.